Rose.
So nice.
Yeah. No, they were a good group.
I remember just like, wow.
And even Ben Boo, who had run for lieutenant.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Wonder where you guys have been all year. We do have a bit of an overflow here. We're trying to set up some other chairs. There's also a setup in room 5, which is right across the hall. No, right down the hall. If you can't find a place to sit or don't want to stand in here.
No.
So, with that, we do have a quorum present, and I'd like to have, I think Representative Gunther, would you move approval of the March 29th minutes?
It would be my pleasure, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? March 29th is approved. So today, what we're going to do is to consider the capital investment bill, House File 892. We will move just to give you a little outline, we'll move a DE 3 amendment to that, and then we will take testimony on the bill, and then likely go into amendments and final passage of the bill. So that is the agenda. If we need to, and we likely will, have to come back at 6:30, we'll do so. But this, the intent is to go till 5 o'clock with this portion of the meeting. I would like to get through the testimony by 5 o'clock, and that's at about 2 minutes a person. We'll see if we can make it. So with that, I would like to move House File 892. It will be re-referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. Carried. And now I have a DE3 amendment, which I would like to move. And so is there discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. The amendment is carried. Now we will ask Ms. Dyson to, and Andy first. Andy, you go first, please.
Mr. Chair and members, in your packets there should be a packet entitled 2017 Capital Budget DE Amendment to House File 892. It looks like this. Starting at the top of the spreadsheet on line 8 for the University of Minnesota, there's $30 million in GO bonds for higher education asset preservation. Then moving on to Minnesota State Colleges and Universities, there's on line 13, there's $25 million for higher education asset preservation, $25 million. And then the next few lines are user financing. So these are projects that are financed with 2/3 of the debt service coming from the state and 1/3 coming from the institution. So the first of those on line 14 is South Central College STEM for $8.6 million, and this is the total amount. And then on line 15, Minnesota State CTC Center for Student Success in Fergus Falls for $978,000. Then Minnesota State CTC in Wadena, Library and Student Development Renovation for $820,000. And finally, Northland CTC Laboratory Renovation in East Grand Forks for $826,000. Moving on to the Department of Education, $2 million in grants for library construction, and you'll notice in a few places in the spreadsheet highlight saying education or grants to political subdivisions. This is when the agency is acting as a granting agency to local units of government, and this is on line 26, the first of these to Olmsted County for the Dyslexia Institute of Minnesota facility for $1.5 million in GO bonds. Then moving on to the Minnesota State Academies on line 31, asset preservation at $2 million, and security quarter design for $50,000 on line 32. Moving on to the DNR, $15 million for asset preservation on line 37, and then under flood hazard mitigation, which is the bold title on line 38, there's $11,555,000, and then a number of items within that. Just the general program administered by the DNR is at $7,305,000, and then for the Cedar River, $1.7 million. Browns Valley, $750,000, and for Ortonville, $1.8 million. Then under dam repair, removal, and reconstruction, $9 million for the total program, with $500,000 for emergency repairs to state-owned dams, $3.6 million for Laneboro, $2.5 million for Lake Bronson, $500,000 for Pelican Rapids, $200,000 for the Norway Lake Dam, $200,000 for the Canby Impoundment Dam, $100,000 for the Little Stone Lake Dam, and $1.4 million for other state-owned dams. Then $1 million for reforestation and stand improvement, and $3.3 million for the City of Champlin for the Mill Pond project. Then $1 million for Lake County Prospectors ATV trail system. Under the PCA, $12.705 million for the St. Louis River area of concern, and a grant to a political subdivision for Polk County, $9,250,000 for that on line 62. Then for the Board of Water and Soil Resources, $10 million for RIM, $5 million for local road wetlands replacement program. For the Minnesota Zoo, $4 million for asset preservation, and for the Department of Administration, $10.5 million for physical security in the state capitol complex, and $2 million for CAPRA. Under Minute, $1,432,000 for repurposing state office facilities for data centers, and $2.5 million for military affairs for asset preservation. Under public safety, $3,521,000 for the Camp Ripley Oil Train Derailment Emergency Response Center. And moving on to the Department of Transportation, on line 100, $59 million for the local bridge replacement program. This is all just for the program administered by MnDOT. And then on line 102, $107,691,000 for the local road improvement fund. Of that, $59,245,000 is for the program, and then there's a number of specific projects identified. $9 million for Anoka County, Lake Drive and 35W interchange. $3.246 million for Blaine reconstruction of 105th Avenue, $25 million for Hennepin County for the CASA 3 and 35W project, $10.5 million for the Highway 212 in Chaska interchange, and $700,000 for Redwood County State Veterans Cemetery Road. Moving on to grade crossing separation, of the total is $57.024 million for that. Of that, $42.626 million is for Moorhead, and $14.762 is for the separation project in Red Wing. Then $1 million for grade crossing warning device system replacement. $4 million for the Minnesota Valley Regional Rail Authority, $1.1 million for the City of Hugo for a short line freight rail track repair, and then under ports, $5 million for port development assistance, and $3 million for International Falls, Coochin County Airport Airline Terminal, and $750,000 for the City of Grand Rapids, the Mississippi River Pedestrian Bridge. Under the Metropolitan Council, $3,739,000 for inflow and infiltration grants. The Department of Human Services for the Child and Adolescent Behavioral Health Center, $7,530,000, and for the Anoka Metro Regional Treatment Center, $2.25 million for that on line 133. Under Veterans Affairs, $5 million for asset preservation. For the Department of Corrections, $20 million for asset preservation. Then moving on to deed, $7 million for transportation economic development, $12 million for BDPI, and $2.5 million for IBDPI. On line 152 is a general fund appropriation, which is followed later in the spreadsheet by a cancellation of the same amount for $300,000. So the net effect on the general fund is 0. And on line 153 is $3 million for the city of Litchfield for power generation improvements. On line 154, the city of Minneapolis, $1.029 million for the Pioneer Soldiers Cemetery fence. And for the city of St. James, Highway 4 and allied projects, $3.443 million for that. For the city of St. Paul, $13 million for the Science Museum of Minnesota preservation. Moving on to the Public Facilities Authority, $17 million for state matching grants to US EPA capital grants, and $55 million for the Water Infrastructure Fund, of which $40 million is for wastewater infrastructure and $15 million is for drinking water infrastructure. And then $33.737 for the Water Infrastructure Initiative for point source implementation grants. And then under PFA for grants to political subdivisions, $1.2 million for the Big Lake Sanitary Sewer District, $726,000 for the city of Denison for a sewer project, and $5.3 million for East Grand Forks for the sewer interconnection with Grand Forks, and $2 million for Coochin County for the Island View Sewer Project. Under Minnesota Housing Finance Authority, $10 million for public housing rehabilitation and $2.5 million for historic site asset preservation under the Minnesota Historical Society. Finally, on line 187, $621,000 for estimated bond sale expenses. Moving on to the last page, these are two increases in the maximum bond proceeds that can be authorized by the Minnesota Housing Finance Authority. These are as a result of lower than anticipated debt service costs for previous authorizations. So while this bill would increase the amount of principal that the agency can authorize, it does not increase the debt service that's required to pay for that. In a sense, the debt service to pay for this $20 million would be in an existing appropriation. On line 179, you can see the total GO. On line 198, you can see the transportation fund. This 166 reflects the local road and bridge number. Essentially, that is a distinction without a difference. These are GO bond financed projects. And then on line 199, you can see the user financing. This represents the 1/3 share of the MnSCU system. On line 200, you can see the cancellation for the Eagles Healing Nest. That was the $300,000 appropriation mentioned earlier in the bill. I will mention one slight spreadsheet error on line 201 that should reflect the $300 million there and not be a 0. So the grand total is actually 640,677. That doesn't affect any of the totals in the bill, but that's just a small spreadsheet totaling error. Then the net general obligation bonds, this is the amount that's supported by the general fund, is shown on line 204, and then there's a number of cancellations that in a sense decrease the amount of debt service needed for that, so that the actual impact in terms of net new GO bonds that the state has to pay debt service for is $600 million on line 211.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Ms. Dyson.
Mr. Chair and members of the committee, Article 2 of House File 892, the Delete Everything Amendment, in the bill begins on page 31 and contains miscellaneous changes to statutory programs and past appropriations. Sections 1 and 2 relate to the Lewis and Clark appropriation bonds that were authorized in 2015, I believe. And out of the $19 million that was authorized in state appropriation bonds for that project, they were able to do phase 2 for less than that, and there remains approximately $7.2 million in authorization. And this modifies the language and project description so that that money can be used for phase 3. Section 3 relates to the audio induction loop bill that was heard in committee just a few weeks ago, and requires that state capital grants and contracts for construction or renovation of public gathering spaces must have permanent audio amplification, must use audio induction loops in permanent audio amplification systems, and then specifies other standards. And this section of the bill also defines a public gathering space as a space that's constructed, renovated, and intended for use by 15 or more people, in which audio communications are integral to the use of the space. There is an exemption allowed, and if agencies use the exemption from this requirement, there's a report that's required on it, and it is effective for projects that are enacted in law after January 1st of this year, but it also does not apply to a project that has already completed schematic design as of the effective date of the bill. Section 4 relates to the Department of Natural Resources asset preservation language and adds language that allows a project to remove life safety hazards such as building code violations, structural defects, as allowable uses of the asset preservation money. Section 5, this relates to the Upper Bluff at Fort Snelling, and it's amending a law that governs the DNR's authority to lease property at the Upper Bluff. It requires the lease of state bond finance property that that is for more than 50 years to be treated as a sale of the property, and the proceeds of the sale then are go to redeem or defease or pay off the bonds. And then after that, the lease payments can be used for capital improvements of the property. And I believe this relates to the Veterans Housing Project that's at the Upper Bluff, but I'm not positive. Section 6 through 9 of Article 2 relate to local bridges, and in Section 9, the Bridge Grant Program has a new provision that sets a $7 million cap on grants for bridge projects under the Local Bridge Replacement and Rehabilitation Program administered by MnDOT. Section 10 is a new statutory program. This was in the governor's bill, and it establishes a grant program for hazardous materials rail safety. And the statute identifies the uses of the program and provides that counties, cities, and towns are eligible grant recipients. Sections 11 to 14 relate to the Public Facilities Authority and the Water Infrastructure Funding Program, which is modified to cover drinking water as well as wastewater infrastructure, and then increases the maximum grant amounts from $4 million to $5 million per project, and $15,000 to $20,000 per existing connection. It establishes funding formula for drinking water projects that's based on the affordability threshold used for the Federal Drinking Water Fund, and then strikes out obsolete language. The points in Section 12, the Point Source Implementation Grant Program is modified so the maximum grants go from $3 million to $7 million, and increases the share of the grants are covered from 50% to 80% of the project costs. And then Section 13 is a technical cross-reference provision related to the Drinking Water Revolving Fund. And then in Section 14, the bonding authority that the Public Facilities Authority has is increased from $1.5 billion to $2 billion in outstanding debt. Sections 15 to 21 of Article 2 are making modifications to past appropriations. As Mr. Lee mentioned in going through the spreadsheet for the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency, the appropriation bonding for the housing infrastructure bonds, the authorization in Section 15 is increased by $15 million. That is supported by the existing debt service that's in statute. And then in Section 16, there is an increase of $5 million for a total of $20 million in new authorizations supported by existing general fund debt service. Section 17, this relates to the Department of Human Services facilities, and there's a kind of a long history of this that goes back to 2005, but basically this is reauthorizing the remaining amount of an appropriation from 2006, and it showed up in the cancellation report. So this inserts the language that reauthorizes this, so it remains available. It's estimated at $1.9 million, and my understanding is that this relates to the Fergus Falls Treatment Center and its reuse. And I believe it's also owned by the city at this time. Section 18 is exempting the 2012 appropriation for the repair of the Lanesboro Dam from any match requirements in statute. Section 19 is the West St. Paul River to River Greenway, and it's modifying the project description to allow for a grade-separated crossing and so that it's not specifically a bridge, and then updates the name of the project. Section 20 is the local road improvement fund grants from 2015 for the Wilmer Y project and modifies it to the current plan for that project. And Section 21 is the Richfield 77th Street underpass modification from the 2015 appropriation to allow the money to be used first for the right-of-way acquisition and then, if money remains, for the construction. Right now, it requires the money to go for all of that, and it doesn't work for that project. Section 22, this is a provision that will allow the Amateur Sports Commission to lease property in Blaine to the Spring Lake Park School District for up to 99 years, and then permits the tenant to make capital improvements in lieu of rent, and appropriates those rent payments to the Amateur Sports Commission. And then finally, Section 23 is a technical revisor instruction related to the repeal, and the repealer in Section 24 is just repealing an obsolete codified bond sale authorization for the Cooperative Secondary Facilities Grant Program that was last used in the 1980s. And then the bill overall is effective the day after enactment unless otherwise specified. And that concludes the bill.
Thank you, Ms. Dyson and Mr. Lee. Is anyone have questions of Representative Hausman?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. One clarifying question, and I think it would be for Mr. Lee. Under the Local Road Improvement Program, how are we able to use GO bonds for U.S. Highway 212?
Mr. Lee,
Actually,
or is it Ms. Dyson?
yeah. Mr. Chair and Representative Hausman, it is actually for the local road elements of that interchange. And if you, I think it's on page 16. I'm looking for where it is in the bill. Oh, page 16, beginning on line 15. It's for grants to Carver County, the city of Chaska, or both, for the various projects related to local road improvements related to this project. So it's not a trunk highway project.
Representative Hausman.
And then, Mr. Chair, so if I understood on the totals, maybe just a clarification, if the Eagles Healing Nest was only authorized in 2015, why is that already canceled and then reauthorized?
Ms. Dyson.
Mr. Chair, Representative Hausman, I don't have a lot of background on this project, but my understanding is that this is being canceled because of the way it was worded the first time, and it could have been amended, but this is taken from last year's bill, and this was the approach from last year, and it works either way, to just cancel it and have a new appropriation, and then so it's just a difference in wording.
And then, Mr. Chair, that,
Representative Hausman.
because of that, the cancellation, that's why it shows no general fund in the bill at all, because it's a cancellation, and we don't have to indicate reauthorization.
Ms. Dyson.
Mr. Chair, that's correct.
His head nodding doesn't show up in the record. Okay, thank you. Representative Hanson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And my questions are on Section 11 and Section 12, and wondering about precedent. Have we, has the state of Minnesota done anything like this before, where we have provided the infrastructure program dollars for drinking water? We've had a history of wastewater. And what we're doing in the delete all amendment here is we're amending wastewater to include for drinking water infrastructure. And I'm just looking to see if we're establishing new precedent here, or if this has been done before.
I believe that this is the governor's language. I'm not sure if it's been done before or not. Can anyone clarify?
The PFAs, I mean, Mr. Chair?
Ms. Dyson?
Mr. Chair, Representative Hanson, I mean, there has been appropriations for the Drinking Water Revolving Fund in bonding bills in years past. So funding drinking water infrastructure is not new. The restructuring of the program is something that the PFA may be better, the better entity to ask about how this relates to any new precedent. But drinking water has been part of bonding bills in the past.
Representative Hanson?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I understand it's part of the governor's proposal. I do think it's a very significant issue. I know we've done, or I think there have been individual projects for drinking water, but adapting the grant so that it flows to drinking water. The concern here is that this is essentially breaking the seal where we move to cleanup on nitrate contamination for drinking water, rather than trying to work on prevention, the prevention program. So as we set up the grant programs for nitrate contamination of drinking water and other contaminants, I just think it's important to put this on the record that this will never end. It is a huge cost that will continue to grow if somebody else picks up the cost for nitrate mitigation.
Representative Hausman?
Mr. Chair, just to clarify, would you prefer that committee members, if we have general observations about the bill, that we wait till after public testimony so that we make sure that we proceed with that first, or?
Yes, would be my preference. Any other questions of Mr. Lee or Ms. Dyson? Well then, we shall move to the testimony. Just a very brief statement I'd like to make. And that is, I appreciate all of you coming here today to list your concerns and, of course, possible praises of the bill. I could just say to you, I know, but that probably won't suffice for everybody. If you got 2 minutes today, and you'll be alerted here when you get to 30 seconds. If you really don't feel that's enough time, I'm open to you. My door is open. You can call me. We can, you can talk to me about this if you don't feel you get it all out in 2 minutes. But with the numbers of people we have here today, that this is the way we have to do it. And you do understand that, technically, this is a non-bonding year. This is the first year of the biennium. What makes this year different is that we didn't do a bill the last biennium. And so, in essence, we're trying to make up for what we didn't do before. And that's what this is about. So most of what we are doing, likely near 100%, with maybe some exceptions, I'll leave the door open, but we're doing what we had done before, what should have passed into law last time. So that's what this is about. The next year is the bonding year, where we will do, I would hope, the traditional method of going out into your communities and your areas, seeing the projects, vetting them, having the tour around the state that we do, bringing you in to testify if you wish at our committee meetings next year. So that's what we're doing. And what we are trying to do today, and will continue to do, and keep in mind this bill is a starting point for what we are doing. From here, it's going to go to Ways and Means, and then throughout the process will continue. I'll guarantee you, the bill's not going to shrink through the process. It's a very, very rare bonding bill that ever leaves this committee and then, comes back smaller. The goal is to do a bonding bill that will serve the interests of the people of Minnesota as best we can with certain constraints that we do face. and to get this bill done in an expeditious manner as much as we can, given the fact that we have only about 3 weeks left to go. But that's my intent, to get a good bill done that does what we as representatives are here to do, and that is to serve the people of Minnesota the best way we can. Representative Hausman.
Mr. Chair, just one other clarifying, not that there's much difference between 2 minutes and 3 minutes, but I was thinking that something might have gone out that gave everyone the impression of 3 minutes, and if they've timed their remarks, this may complicate things. I don't know what your sense of the communication was.
Well, if they think 2 or 3, I think they can shave it down to 2. They're going to have a lot of time sitting there waiting. So, if you're planning 3, in the spare time you're going to have for the next whatever, shave her down a tad. Oh, somebody's calling. Excuse me. Heck. All right.
It's your wife wishing you luck.
That's off now. Probably Matt Dean. He does that to me all the time. All right. So, with that, sometimes they play music to start the next segue. We ring phones. And we'll now begin on the list.
Mr. Chair, just a quick question.
Yes, Representative Lilly.
Mr. Chair, are we going to be able to ask questions of the testifiers, or?
I would rather not. I mean, if you've really got something that's burning, you got to know something, raise your hand. But if we can just move along, it would be helpful.
Representative Frankie has a lot of questions, he said. I was surprised as a freshman, but
Yeah, well, moving right along. Our first contestant on the, our first testifier is Commissioner Myron Franz.
Does this count on my 2 minutes?
Not till you sit down. Welcome, Mr. Franz.
Mr. Chair and committee members, thank you so much for the opportunity. And I appreciate your opening remarks, Mr. Chair. The governor likewise wants to make sure that we get a bonding bill that's in the best interest of Minnesota, and I know that's where we all begin. And what you should know also, as you mentioned, that on Monday of this week, the notices went out for the process for the next bonding bill for 2018. So that process is underway as we speak right now. So people around the state are getting notices from MMB about the process to submit appropriation projects. As you might know, that's one of the reasons I just want to make a few remarks, and that's about the concern we have about the number of projects. We had over $3.7 billion worth of projects that were submitted about 2 years ago, or I guess a year and a half ago, and those projects really continue to be out there. Right now, House File 892, I know it's going to grow, but right now it only represents about 16% of that $3.7 billion in requests from 2016. So we really are concerned that we provide a bonding bill of the size that will provide the needed investment in our infrastructure. Now, I'm here on behalf of Governor Dayton, but there are a lot of other commissioners here and a lot of other people to testify to provide that information for you on detailed projects. I want to just give a high overview about the fiscal status of Minnesota. As you know, last year, our AAA status was raised to AAA by the Fitch rating agency. And in part, that was a review of our financial situation, the fact that we have a low debt burden overall. 30 seconds already, really? Are you serious? We actually have a low debt burden compared to other states. 2 minutes goes really quick. So the key issue is we have the resources to make this investment. We have the projects that we need, and the governor really is urging you, and we will work with this committee and you, Mr. Chair, to make sure that we have a bonding committee that really helps Minnesota move forward. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. And one thing I should have mentioned in my little introduction is that just generally in this bonding bill, as I think our staff did relay, we are heavy on infrastructure, 81%, most of it in local roads and bridges, or PFA or water projects, and then some asset preservation. So that's where the bill is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Brian Yolitz, the Associate Vice Chancellor of Facilities for Minnesota State, and on deck, Terry Carlson.
Okay.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, Chair Urdahl and committee. I'm Brian Yolitz. I serve at the colleges and universities of Minnesota State as Associate Vice Chancellor for Facilities. Thank you for the opportunity to briefly address the proposal before this committee today. We appreciate being included in this package. The $32.5 million in state funding enables the execution of $36.2 million worth of urgently needed asset preservation and capital improvements at our colleges and universities. The proposal allows follows our board's priorities in terms of investments, capital investments, and it will impact 13 campuses within the Minnesota State system. And for this, we're thankful. However, we respectfully submit that this is not enough investment to take care of our buildings and infrastructure required at our 54 campuses. As you know, our colleges and universities include nearly 30 million square feet of facility space and represent 1/3 of the state's buildings and real estate. The limited capital investments over the last couple of years, particularly in terms of HEAPR and asset preservation, put a strain on our already stressed operating budgets at our colleges and universities as they make Band-Aid repairs of systems that should have been upgraded and replaced earlier and clean up after system failures like roof leaks. We know you from your visits to our campuses. This committee is keenly aware of how important warm, safe, and dry facilities are to attracting and retaining students and faculty and in meeting the workforce needs of Minnesota. We look forward to working with this committee over the days ahead to address the capital investment priorities of our colleges and universities. Thank you for your time and attention. Any questions?
Doesn't look like it.
Very good.
Thank you. Next, we have Terry Carlson, Deputy Commissioner of the Department of Corrections, and Kent Locusmo is on deck. And by the way, we're not starting the time until after you have introduced yourself. Because some of you guys got really long introductions. Begin, please.
Mr. Chair, committee members, my name is Colin Gow. I'm the warden at the correctional facility in St. Cloud, and I'm speaking on behalf of Terry Carlson. First, I want to thank you for the $20 million in asset preservation that is in your bill. It is sorely needed and much appreciated. Secondly, I want to talk to you about a bonding request of $19 million for a new intake area at the St. Cloud facility. What's unique about this request is this was originally a $32 million request that we submitted in 2016. You, as well as the Senate, asked us if we could phase that request. We did phase it. Phase 1 was funded, $13 million. Thank you. That project is just about complete. Phase 2 is the $19 million piece that we are asking for. Phase 2 is designed. The tours that you did, people saw the area, know what we are asking for, know of the need. I would also add that if this is delayed till 2018, cost estimates indicate that the price would increase by $2.7 million. So not only would it be honoring a Phase 2 commitment, it would be prudent use of funding dollars. Thank you.
Thank you. And let me say that I did tour the facility and luckily was able to leave. My wife, I'll say, felt very strange dropping me off and driving away that day.
Thank you for coming.
Next, we have Kent Locusmo, the Director of Capital Investment, Department of Natural Resources, and on deck, Steve Elliott.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Kent Locusmo, Director of Capital Investment for DNR. Commissioner Landwehr was unable to attend today. And we recognize the difficulty in putting together a $600 million bill. And we face similar difficulties when we look at managing our natural resources asset preservation at only $15 million that's contained in this bill. And as you recall, our initial request in 2016 was for $80 million. The governor had us in at $34 million. And this continues to be our #1 priority to take care of the assets that we have. This impacts all of our divisions. We have $55 million in unacceptable and poor buildings. And in our natural resources asset preservation is more than just buildings. It's and we have a lot of competing needs for that. We have $3 billion in assets, $342 million in deferred maintenance, and this impacts water accesses, bridges, roads, campgrounds, water and sewer systems. And two specific examples, at Blue Mountain State Park, the water system is not potable. We use the running water for flushing toilets. The showers and the sinks are turned off. We're providing bottled water for the campers. Itasca Sewer Lagoon needs to be brought up to standards to meet PCA and water quality standards. And those are two large projects that we need to address along with all the other issues that we have. There's disaster damages that have occurred over the last years that need to be addressed. And these are needed so we can avoid more road and bridge trail closures, forest road closures, doing ADA accessibility so we can provide access to all of our facilities. We do note in this bill, 50% of the DNR appropriation is for pass-through programs like flood hazard mitigation and dam safety, which are important programs. That really only leaves $20 million then for the core DNR programs, and we believe some of those issues in parks and trails and the other programs be addressed. Thank you. And we appreciate the inclusion of the language in Article 2. That's necessary language that we need for continued operations. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Ms. Logismo. And now we have Steve Elliott with Matt Mossman on deck.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and members of the committee for the opportunity to comment on the bill. I'm Steve Elliott, Director of the Minnesota Historical Society. First, thank you for your support for asset preservation for the Society. We have a weighty stewardship responsibility to preserve and make accessible 140 buildings in the state's historic sites network, many of which are more than a century old and, of course, were not designed to be places with heavy public visitation. Time, weather, and visitors take their toll on these important places. The support for asset preservation is a great start, but our facilities needs are great and constant. Underfunding results in deferring needed work, and deferring maintenance results in more rapid deterioration and increased expense. We have catching up to do, and we look forward to hosting you on your visits later in the year to see some of these important historic structures that we care for. And Mr. Chair, not to disappoint you, a few words about historic Fort Snelling. This site is one of our state's most important places, our state's first National Historic Landmark. And as we approach 2020, now just 2.5 years away, Fort Snelling's bicentennial, we will have an exceptional opportunity to share the many stories of this site with Minnesotans and visitors from near and far. They will be keenly interested in this site during its bicentennial. We should capitalize on this strong public interest. The project has broad public support, and in a departure from the policy of the state's fully funding the capital needs of historic sites, we committed to raise $12 million for this project, and the response has been immediate and strong. People across the state and beyond recognize the deep historical significance of this property and are excited by its many stories and connections to major narratives in American history. We have shared with you editorials from newspapers across the state and the expressed support of many organizations and veterans eager to see this sorely needed preservation work and programming move forward in a timely way. Following your appropriation of pre-designed money, we have kept design development on track and on schedule with contributed funds. But this year, the state's appropriation is needed so that we can accomplish this work in time for Fort Snelling's bicentennial. We thank you. We look forward to continuing to work with you, and we implore that you support full funding for historic Fort Snelling this year. Let's get it done. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Elliott. Next, we have Matt Mossman, Commissioner of the Department of Administration, followed by Benjamin Johnson. And Commissioner Mossman, good to see you in the flesh here after, I think, all week playing telephone tag with you.
Yes, indeed. Well, we'll do that again later in the week. Good afternoon, Chair Urdahl and committee members. My name again is Matt Mossman, Commissioner of Administration. Thank you for the opportunity to testify and for the work that you have done and will do over the next several weeks to put together a bonding bill in the closing weeks of session here. I do appreciate that it is a work in progress, and thank you for the resources that you have put in the bill for the Department of Administration and for asset preservation to date. To put it simply, though, Mr. Chair and members, the capital investment legislation before us today is simply not adequate to meet the needs of the state of Minnesota. As the commissioner who is statutorily responsible for monitoring the well-being of state-owned facilities, I believe that we should be alarmed at the declining condition of state's buildings. As proposed, this bill would not even fund fixes to what is already broken in state facilities. As a consequence, state employees, Minnesotans who visit the Capitol grounds or come to state offices to do business will be experiencing buildings that are less safe than they should be, less accessible than they should be, and that are costing taxpayers increased operating costs just to temporarily mitigate infrastructure problems. Let me provide a few specific examples of projects that Governor Dayton has recommended for the Department of Administration that are not in the bill and are essential to be funded this session. $10.9 million for the Centennial parking ramp. The need for emergency repairs resulted in the partial closure of this ramp over 2 years ago. The 50-year ramp still has not been repaired, resulting in 176 stalls that are unusable, and the need to rent $740,000 worth of temporary structural storage shoring each year in order to stabilize the building. As a result, also, Mr. Chair and members, the funding needs for the Centennial ramp are indicative of the capital asset preservation account, for which the governor has recommended $5 million and only $2 million is in the bill. The CAPRA fund is at an all-time low of essentially zero, the lowest it's been since it was first implemented in order to make safety improvements to state buildings as a last resort. Just a few examples that have happened in the last couple weeks are facilities at the correctional facilities and state academies where safety of the people that we are responsible for as state agencies caring for would have been at risk. So, Mr. Chair and members, I encourage that to be fully funded, as well as the physical security improvements to the Capitol complex buildings and the physical improvements to the Capitol Mall monuments. Mr. Chair and members, in closing, we have $1.3 billion of deferred maintenance in the state of Minnesota and growing. Much of that is facilities that are in critical or poor condition, including nearly $100 million of needed improvements that are in critical or poor condition just to the roofs and shell of buildings. We need to fix these facilities, and I do encourage you to fully fund the governor's recommendations. Just like money in the bank, the taxpayers expect us to do what we can to properly care for and manage the state buildings. I thank you for the time, and I encourage you to fully fund these recommendations.
Thank you, Commissioner Mossman. Next is Benjamin Johnson, Legislative Director, Department of Veteran Affairs, followed by Angie Becker-Godolka and Dave Wyrens.
Mr. Chair, I am not Ben Johnson. My name is Larry Shalato. I'm the Commissioner of Veterans Affairs for the state of Minnesota. This is an important issue for us. So first of all, thank you to the committee for the $5 million to take care of our repair and maintenance of the existing veterans homes throughout the state. The issue that I'm addressing is the issue of the bridge at the Minnehaha Creek. It is a issue that is definitely in the life safety category and needs to be addressed or at least be made aware of. In 2015, the legislature did appropriate $650,000 for pre-design, design, and environmental assessment. That is 99% complete and is waiting for necessary funds to begin the repairs. And we want to ask for and we request the $7,851,000 appropriation. If we do not do it in a timely manner in 2018, that drops off the radar screen, if you will, and then we would have to do a reassessment. So it is an issue, and those who have not navigated that route in and out of the Veterans Home in Minneapolis, you will find that the road, which is narrow, is built on a slope. It's either you go up the hill or you go down into the Minnehaha Creek. It will handle very small vehicles, vans, so forth, but major fire trucks and so forth would be inaccessible. So it's not just even a typical safety hazard. It's very, very serious. We ask for your full consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now, Angie Becker-Godelka and Dave Wyrens, Assistant Directors of Bowser, with Matt Kramer on deck.
Mr. Chairman, I am not Angie. I'm John Jaski, Executive Director, Board of Water and Soil Resources. And I'm going to
quit doing this to me.
I apologize. I wasn't sure I could make it here, but I will cover both hers and Mr. Wyrens' items, so that'll save you some time. So
go for it.
Maybe you'll appreciate that. Mr. Chairman, thank you. Again, John Jaski, Board of Water and Soil Resources, and there are two items in your bill, and they are both based on the governor's recommendations, of course, not at the amounts that the governor had recommended. The first is $5 million for the local road replacement program, which is a statutory requirement that the agency has to mitigate wetlands on behalf of local road authorities. And because, as you mentioned earlier, there was not a bonding bill last year, there needed to be an emergency appropriation earlier this session to accommodate this statutory requirement. And so in this case, the bill has a $5 million amount, which would get us through the year ahead. If there is another bonding bill next year, we would need another $5 million as well in the following year. The second item, Mr. Chairman and members, is the Reinvest in Minnesota Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program. This is a program that is based on a combination of a state program, the Reinvest in Minnesota program, and the federal Conservation Reserve Program, where we're able to leverage, in this case, via an agreement that the governor signed in January with the U.S. Agriculture Secretary, $350 million of federal money if Minnesota could come up with $150 million of state money to do projects that would restore wetlands, provide riparian buffer areas, and also protect wellheads via installing conservation practices in those areas. And so the governor had recommended $30 million for this. The bill that you have before you has got a $10 million amount. We do have other funding sources that we are also seeking under the legacy amendment, and you know that as well, Mr. Chairman. So I will end my comments here, except to say that it's really important that we have these funds soon, because the federal money is sitting there, and we're only able to go forward and tap those federal funds when we have the state resources in hand. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Next, we have Matt Kramer, Vice President, University Relations, University of Minnesota. And on deck is Molly Greenman. And this is Matt Kramer, because I know it.
Mr. Chair, members, thank you. And Mr. Chair, I'm told that there might well be Civil War artifacts buried under some of our older buildings. I'm hoping with some assistance as we tear them down, we might be able to find those. So as an incentive, perhaps.
Let me know.
Mr. Chair, members, thank you so much. I'm Matt Kramer, Vice President for University Relations at the University of Minnesota. I want to make 4 very brief points. First, thank you so much for the HEAPR dollars that you have allocated so far. $30 million is critical to preserving the over 29 million square feet of infrastructure that the university has across the state of Minnesota. I would ask and note, however, that our infrastructure needs are considerably greater than that, whether it is roof leaks, plumbing, electrical, ADA compliance. We have these needs. They are simply deferred, and deferring them further just puts us further in the hole. We'd ask your indulgence to look at our original request. The Chemistry and Advanced Sciences Material Building at the University of Minnesota Duluth, you have a letter from Chancellor Black in your package. Today, 5,500 students a year take chemistry in a state-of-the-art museum from 1948, which is exactly what the building is. And we think that we can do considerably better. 90% of the students at University of Minnesota Duluth are from Minnesota. 50% of those students are from greater Minnesota. Chemistry provides them the STEM skills to move back into industry across the state of Minnesota, and we believe this is a pressing need. The Health Sciences Education Center on the University of Minnesota Minneapolis campus would ultimately replace the educational facilities that we have for over 70% of the state's healthcare professionals. In 2012, the accreditation body that certifies our healthcare professionals expressed concern about the educational facilities we have for those students. In 2015, they deferred that concern knowing we were working with the legislature. We are significantly concerned that in 2018, they will bring up accreditation again and our ability to serve our students. Finally, members, the Plant Growth Research Facility, you have a letter from Dean Forbes of the College of Biological Sciences in your packet. This facility on the University of Minnesota St. Paul campus serves our agricultural needs across the state of Minnesota in plant research, and we're extraordinarily grateful for Representative Paul Anderson and his sponsorship of the bill in the past. Mr. Chair, members, thank you so much for your attention. We ask your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Carlson.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, just a very quick question. At $30 million, will you have any buildings that will no longer be secure, leaky roofs, tuck pointing where you have seepage? The reason I ask the question is that increases our costs if we repair those later. And you can basically give a yes or no answer because of our time limits.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Kramer.
The answer is yes.
Okay. That's an important point to remember that, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative Carlson. Representative Hausman.
And Mr. Chair, for members in your packet, they do show it at 30 million, so you can actually see in your packet.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Next, we have Molly Greenman, President and CEO of the Family Partnership, with Don Kerr, Executive Director, Department of Military Affairs, next. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Urdahl and members of the committee for this opportunity. I'm Molly Greenman, President and CEO of the Family Partnership. We are requesting $1.6 million for planning and pre-construction of a new service center and headquarters, which will consolidate some of our other offices and provide room for growth in South Central Minneapolis. And we were in the bonding bill last year. Thank you for that. And I believe our staying in that bill was really due to the bipartisan support that we got. And it's because of our work really crossing political and geographic boundaries. A Family Partnership was founded in 1878. We serve more than 35,000 people. We would be the 28th largest city in Minnesota if we were a city. 4 out of 5 of our children and family are living in poverty. Our work to end sex trafficking really impacts the entire state, working with kids coming in from all areas. Our vision is a Minnesota where every child, regardless, and every family, regardless of income or their start in life, reaches their full potential. And we do this in 4 ways. Early childhood education and care. 83% of the 5-year-olds in our programs, all of whom come from poverty, are graduating from our 4-star parent-aware preschools ready for kindergarten, thanks to scholarships in many ways. Second, through parent engagement and development so that we can help parents, 4 out of 5 of whom, learn new skills to support their children's development. 30 seconds. Mental health services and advocacy and support for sex trafficking. This is a public-private partnership. We have $2.5 million already raised from individuals, and the 1.6 will help us really put together, further our plans for this needed facility. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Don Kerr, Executive Director, Department of Military Affairs, with the Mayor of St. Paul, Chris Coleman, next.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. For the record, I am Don Kerr, the Executive Director of the Department of Military Affairs. Mr. Chair and the committee, thank you for funding our 3rd priority in our list in the governor's bonding bill. We're disappointed that we didn't have the opportunity to explain to you why our 1st priority was our 1st priority and our 2nd priority was our 2nd priority. But we do appreciate our 3rd priority in the bill. With that, I'll just move on and take the time to thank you very much also for supporting one of public safety's priorities, the Emergency Rail Training Center at Camp Ripley. The agency strongly supports that initiative, and we thank you for considering that. And with that, I will yield for questions, apparently.
No, you've done a fine job, Mr. Kerr, no?
Well,
Representative Hausman.
Chair, I'm just so sorry he didn't tell us why the 1st and 2nd priorities would be because we're still considering this, so we should have heard your argument for 1st and 2nd priority.
Mr. Kerr, would you care to tell us your first and second priorities?
Mr. Chair, Representative Housing, members of the committee, our first priority is a named project in St. Cloud that we had to phase because we didn't get the funding earlier. So now we're working on the first project now, and I'm afraid if we don't get that project funded, we'll have to demobilize and remobilize, and that will, of course, cost us more money. That's why it's our #1 priority. We also had some problems with the envelope, so we couldn't wait. And our second priority is a renovation in the Brainerd facility, which is due for a batch renovation and more important than our statewide asset pres, in many ways because of the generosity of the legislature in the last session by granting our request to move money from our enlistment incentives appropriation into asset preservation so we could cover the previous shortfalls we've had in asset preservation for the previous 30 years.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Now, Mayor Chris Coleman with Chuck Johnson, Deputy Commissioner, Department of Human Services, next.
Mr. Chair, members
Mayor.
of the committee, I think I've identified a loophole. You said timing doesn't begin until I introduce myself. And so before I introduce myself, I would just like to take a moment. I am Chris Coleman, Mayor of the City of St. Paul, and I appreciate the opportunity to testify before your committee. As Commissioner Franz indicated, the process for next year's bonding bill has already begun. Communities across the state of Minnesota have been put on notice that they need to put their priorities together and build their list of the projects that they think are the most important for their communities. This is a multi-month process that involves city council members, business community members, citizens and residents, people that come to the city of St. Paul. And when we put a list together, it's a reflection of that process that the state by law requires local communities to engage in. That's why it is very disappointing to see in the bonding bill that has been introduced or put before us contains not one ranked priority of the city of St. Paul. While we're certainly appreciative of the fact that the Science Museum, an item that we support but is not one of our ranked projects, is on the list, not any other project in the city of St. Paul has been put on that. The fact of the matter is there are critical projects, some that are absolutely critical to making sure that previous state investments are actually effective. For instance, the lack of funding for the Dorothy Day Center Phase 2, while Phase 1 certainly provides a place for people to live, the pathway to long-term, ending long-term homelessness, the pathway to getting people off the street goes through Phase 2, and that is an absolutely essential project. For generations of Minnesotans, Como Zoo has been an important learning center and a place for families to bring their children. And right now, Como Zoo, the sea lion exhibit, is at risk of being losing its accreditation and having to close down. The commitment of the state to regional parks and trails is a commitment that has been longstanding, and the failure to fund those projects is an unfortunate investment or lack of investment in these important assets in the metropolitan area. And the 3rd Street Bridge, which is a critical link between the vitality of downtown and an impoverished neighborhood on the east side where people are looking for jobs and ways to get into downtown, is imperiled because of the cap that has been placed on bridge projects across the state of Minnesota. Mr. Chair, my time is up, but I would appreciate the reconsideration for the projects that we have ranked in the city of St. Paul that has been based on a long-term process involving many, many parties. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I assure you that as we go through the process, we'll be taking a look at St. Paul. And now we have Chuck Johnson, Deputy Commissioner, Department of Human Resources, with Aaron Hautala of the Cuyuna Mountain Bike Crew next. Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. My name is Chuck Johnson. I serve as Deputy Commissioner for the Department of Human Resources. Thanks for the opportunity to testify. I want to start by thanking you for including 2 of the DHS projects in the bill, the funding for the Child and Adolescent Behavioral Health Services in Wilmer, a hospital that serves at-risk children, and $2.25 million for security upgrades at our Anoka Psychiatric Hospital, much needed for the safety of our patients and staff there. However, we're very disappointed the bill doesn't include our top priority, which is the funding for Phase 2 of the Minnesota Security Hospital in St. Peter. Security Hospital provides treatment for Minnesotans who are committed to the Department of Human Services as mentally ill and dangerous, committed by courts. This has been DHS's top priority since 2012 when we first started bringing it to the legislature and talking about it. It's really needed basically to improve the safety for our patients and for our staff, as well as create a better therapeutic environment for the patients that we serve at the Security Hospital, some of the most vulnerable people in Minnesota. Those individuals require a great deal of care, and the current facility is not up to it. The first phase was funded in 2014. We greatly appreciate that. I know a number of you have visited the campus. You've seen the new construction in some phase. It is now largely complete. We're starting to move in and use it, and it's been really great to have that space available. However, the project is not complete. It is a two-phase project. The second phase is the part that really gets us into the old building and starts the renovation and remodeling of that old building so that we can provide better care for our patients and create better safety. One of the issues that I think folks have seen if they've been there is the split-level living units, and part of what we do in phase two is plow a couple of those under to create better sight lines for our staff, better safety, and better safety for patients as well. The longer phase two is delayed, the harder it becomes for us to operate, caring for these very vulnerable individuals partly in an old facility and partly in a new facility. I want to mention two other proposals very quickly that were not included that we would also like to bring to the committee's attention. On the St. Peter campus, funding for the Minnesota Sex Offender Program. This is community preparation services. That's the part of the program that we have people court ordered to us and currently have a waiting list, and so it's creating a legal problem for us. And then secondly, early learning childhood facilities. This is a proposal we've been funding various times over the last 25 years. The governor recommended $15 million. This helps local school districts in particular who are dealing with space issues where they need better space for early childhood programming. Thanks, Mr. Chair and committee members, for your consideration of those proposals.
Thank you, and we certainly will be considering them. Next, Aaron Hautala, Cuyuna Mountain Bike Crew, and next is Chris Eilers.
Thank you,
Mr. Hautala.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members. My name is Aaron Hautala, resident of Cuyuna. With me today back here are Cuyuna business owners Jonna Johnson of Mixed Company and Dan Urich of True North Base Camp. Today we're here to talk about the 21st century vision for the 21st century Cuyuna, a vision that provides 3 days of cycling without repeating a trail, a vision that builds upon the 15 new businesses like Dan's that have started since the mountain bike trails opened 6 years ago and sustains our early investors like Jonna. A vision that has transformed our region from economic disaster to what's being called a renaissance. Mr. Chair, members, we thank the House and Senate Bonding Committee for touring the Cuyuna Country State Rec area last year. We were also grateful to be included in last year's bill. Since that time, we as a community raised $670,000 on our own to continue moving the trail expansion forward. Proof positive, we're not looking for a free handout in legislature. We're shovel ready. The Minnesota DNR Parks and Trails has given us the green light for expansion. But today, Mr. Chair and members, we need your help to complete the master vision for trails. A $3.6 million appropriation for the Cuyuna Country State Rec area is necessary. Our region has requested this funding as a top priority last year and now again this session. And that region includes Brainerd, Cuyuna, Mille Lacs, Aiken, and Nisswa. The letters of support are in your packet that's being passed around. 5 communities working together for Cuyuna's good. This has never happened before in our community, ever. Right, Representative Lueck? Right. When completed, the Master Vision for Trails will convert a $3.6 million state investment into what's been conservatively estimated as a $21 million return, and that's annually. As you continue forward, we ask you to strongly consider including Bonding Committee member Representative Lueck's $3.6 million request for the Cuyuna Country State Rec area. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, members.
Thank you, Mr. Hautala. You've been, your representatives have been well serving you in this issue. And I believe that Representative Lilly lost his shirt there once.
I'm not sure. I think that might be true, but I'm wearing red shoes today in your honor.
We thank you. Mr. Chair, members, it is true of Lilly because it's seared in my mind when it happened.
My apologies.
Thank you. I tell you, okay, we now have Chris Eilers, right?
Yes.
And next, we're moving him up because he needs to leave, Commissioner Charlie Zelli. Ms. Eilers.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. My name is Chris Eilers. I'm the Executive Director of the St. Louis River Alliance in Duluth. The Alliance is a grassroots nonprofit organization, and we have been leading the effort to secure the state match that triggers the federal funds to clean up the St. Louis River estuary and the Duluth Harbor, which, by the way, is the largest U.S. tributary to Lake Superior and affects the water quality there. We appreciate the broad bipartisan support the St. Louis River Estuary Cleanup Project has with the legislature and Governor Mark Dayton. We welcomed the opportunity to showcase this project to the House and the Senate Capital Investment Committees when they toured the state in 2015. We appreciated the inclusion of the project in the 2016 bonding bill, and we also appreciate the House including the initial matching funds of $12.7 million in this bill and your recognition of this important project. Because of the urgency to secure the federal funds while they are available, we are now asking the legislature to appropriate the full match needed, which is $25.4 million in this year's bonding bill. The good news is this week Congress agreed on a 2017 budget that would provide the funding for the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative at $300 million. This means the $47.2 million in federal funding is still available and waiting the match from the state to secure it. Once the state match is made available, we can complete the paperwork and cleanup will begin. The bad news is that if Minnesota is unable to provide the match this year, we're concerned other regions in the Great Lakes will step up and receive the funds, or worse, Congress will defund the GLRI program. Without the federal funds, Minnesota will be on the hook for the full $72.6 million, making the cleanup a much more expensive effort and maybe once-in-a-generation opportunity lost. So again, we feel very strongly that the legislature appropriate the full amount of the state match this year, which is $25.4 million, in order to release the full $47.2 million in federal funds now available. As you can see from the handout that you're being passed out, we have a broad coalition of local, regional, and state support. Our partners are actively engaged and are looking forward to the day when the St. Louis River and the Duluth Harbor will be delisted as an area of concern by 2025, and we're well on our way. We are excited not only for clean water, but for the restoration of a world-class fisheries habitat and the economic revitalization that will follow and has already begun. On behalf of our members and our coalition, we look forward to a bonding bill this year so that we can complete this important work. Thank you, Chairman and members.
Thank you. Next, Commissioner Charlie Zelli of MnDOT. And next, Margaret Donahoe, Minnesota Transportation Alliance. Welcome, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, committee, and thank you for moving me up. I didn't want to miss the opportunity to thank you for your commitment to infrastructure. I especially note, and I'm deeply appreciative, that there are no earmarks of the trunk highway system in this what's been proposed. So we view that as a great step.
So that was all good stuff, and you were thanking us. Are you done now?
I do have. It is so good that I want to add that, along with others, that there is a tremendous need, and I will just highlight a few items. In the rail separations, there's a number of projects been cited. One in Anoka County that is also, I think, very and some would agree, is very noted as urgent as the others. Also, appreciate the local bridge program. There is, in addition to the large bridges that in the cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, you've heard about, there's even more need for deteriorating bridges at the local level. And I want a special note of that. There is facilities for MnDOT, which is not a general obligation, but trunk highway bonds that, like Commissioner Mossman had described, state buildings. We have a number of supportive buildings, several in particular truck stations that need repair, and we have $40 million that isn't in the, and this is, I remind you, trunk highway bonds, not general obligation bonds. And there's one bonding proposal from the governor of the Stone Arch Bridge, which is not eligible for trunk highway bonds because it is a bike pedestrian facility. It is one of the iconic bridges for Minnesota, and it is deteriorating underneath the water. Beautiful bridge, but we want to make sure it stands. And we've known this for a number of years, and we would like at least funding. We're investigating the full need, but would need some reconstruction below the water level. And I'm sure I could say more, but I really appreciate the opportunity to highlight a few items. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Margaret Donahoe, Minnesota Transportation Alliance, and Jerry Koch, Scott Schulte, and John Piper, Coon Rapids and Anoka County next. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Margaret Donahoe. I'm the director of the Minnesota Transportation Alliance. We're a statewide coalition of public sector and private sector organizations that work on the transportation system. We want to thank you very much for recognizing the importance of transportation infrastructure in this bonding bill, particularly for local governments who do have jurisdiction over most of the miles of roads and bridges in the state. And who do receive a limited amount of money out of the Highway Trust Fund. The Local Road Improvement Program and the Local Bridge Program have traditionally been very important programs for local governments, and they have traditionally been part of the capital bonding bill. As you've heard, there's a large need for bridges this year because of the 3rd Street Bridge in St. Paul and the 10th Avenue Bridge in Minneapolis. And there may need to be some accommodation for larger bridges if there is going to be a cap in the local bridge program. So we appreciate the level of funding, but we would urge you to look at how those funds can be distributed. We also appreciate the funding for the port program that's in the bill, the funding for the rail grade separation program, and also the transportation economic development program, which has been very effective at targeting funds. We appreciate the local road wetland replacement program fund of $5 million, although that may need to go up to $10 million to really cover the needs since it's been underfunded for a number of years. And we would also request that you look at some of the important transit projects that have been recommended by the governor and were included in the bonding bill last year. But overall, thank you very much again for recognizing the importance of these public assets in this bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Next would be Jerry Koch, Scott Schulte, John Piper from Coon Rapids and Anoka County. And next we have Senta Leff on deck.
Mr. Chair and members, thank you. I am Scott Schulte, an Anoka County Commissioner. Commissioner Zelli just told you about the rail grade separation in Anoka County at Hanson Boulevard. This is a $25 million project that we've raised half the money locally. $12.6 million has already been appropriated through the county's Transit Improvement Board, the City of Coon Rapids, and the County of Anoka. The engineering is done. The right-of-way is being acquired. We need $12.6 million more to fix the #1 traffic exposure intersection in the state of Minnesota. 12,500 cars a day on Hanson Boulevard, over 81 trains a day exposed at that double track intersection. We're ready. We hope you are too. It was in last year's bonding bill. It was supported by the House, the Senate, and the governor. We're hoping you can find a way to reinsert that into this bonding bill. Chief.
Identify yourself, please, for the record.
Sure. Chair, Commission members, John Piper, Coon Rapids Fire Chief. This is very important to public safety in our community. Commissioner Schulte gave you the numbers, but there's a lot of people coming in contact crossing the train track there. From a rail safety perspective, from a safety for our citizens, separating them with a bridge, keeping the people away from the trains is a good thing. From a public safety emergency response perspective, this is a huge deal. We shoot for a 3 to 4 minute response time. In a medical emergency, seconds count. In a fire, the fire doubles every minute. In a delay, on a normal delay from a train there, it's 3 to 4 minutes. In a worst case scenario, it's 30 minutes. It is critical to emergency response times to get this grade separation in place.
Thank you. Jerry Cook, Mayor of Coon Rapids, 20 seconds.
You can do it.
I can do it. I have very small notes. We had three rail grade separations in that bonding bill last year. Coon Rapids is the #1 intersection of trains and cars, as Commissioner Schulte mentioned. And 2 of those are still in this bonding bill that you've offered, and we just asked for you to put us back in there again. It's really critical for our residents. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, Senta Leff, Executive Director, Minnesota Coalition for the Homeless, and Dan McGinnis and Melanie Kleiss next. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee.
My name is Senta Leff, and I'm the Executive Director of the Minnesota Coalition for the Homeless. I'm here today representing the Homes for All Coalition, which is a partnership of over 170 different public and private organizations in every legislative district in the state. And I want to acknowledge the $10 million in general obligation bonds for public housing rehabilitation and the $20 million allocation for housing infrastructure bonds from the 2014-2015 year. I know a lot of hard work went into the bill, and I know you know that in communities across the state there is still not enough affordable housing, and we have so much more work to do to meet the needs of Minnesotans who are struggling to make their ends meet. Where we live impacts every single aspect of our lives. It impacts where we can buy our groceries, where we can send our kids to school, how we thrive in our communities. And tonight, there are 10,000 homeless Minnesotans who don't have a place to live. People hear me say it all the time. Homelessness is a math problem, and it's totally solvable through targeted investments. The proposed amounts for housing in this bonding bill are less than the legislature approved last year, and will put the development and preservation of literally thousands of units of housing in jeopardy. Just for one moment, I want to talk about the folks who live in those housing units. Seniors make up the fastest growing population of Minnesotans experiencing homelessness. 150,000 older adults in Minnesota qualify for affordable senior housing, and we have a supply of just over 23,000 senior-only units. So that represents a gap of 126,000 seniors who can't afford a home today. Our aging population will only grow, and a failure to invest in more affordable housing now will broaden this gap. So please consider the Homes for All request of $100 million in bonds for housing. These dollars provide affordable, supportive housing options to Minnesotans at every stage of life in order to thrive. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Leff. Next, we have Dan McGinnis, Melanie Kleiss from the Lower Phelan Project, and on deck, Dr. Baker. Welcome.
Thank you, Chair Urdahl and members of the committee. My name is Dan McGinnis. I'm a volunteer and board member of the Lower Phelan Creek Project, and with me is Melanie Kleiss, Executive Director. Just 2 miles from here, along the bluffs of the Mississippi River, is a cave which 250 years ago this week was visited by Jonathan Carver, and he met here with the Dakota Indians, Native Americans at this site. And in the last 250 years since that initial meeting, the site eventually became a rail yard and was the home to some of our earliest immigrants in Minnesota and the Twin Cities area. Later on in the 1970s, the railroad abandoned the site and it became a dump. And then about 20 years ago, the Lower Phelan Creek Project and our community neighbors and partners cleaned up the site. We restored habitat to the native habitat that's there today. We established a series of trails that connect to the Bruce Vento Regional Trail and the Gateway State Trail, and soon to the Sam Morgan Trail along the Mississippi River. And it's become a gathering place that is part of the Great River Passage Master Plan and Park System in the Twin Cities. We're here today to request that the state of Minnesota join us in this partnership and support the restoration, use, and interpretation of the site and its stories by providing a $3 million for the design, construction, and of Wakantipi Interpretive Center in the Bruce Vento Nature Sanctuary. The Lower Phelan Creek Project is ready to match funds to $3.7 million in private and public sources. Melanie?
Mr. Chair, committee members, thank you. The need for the center is now. Over 4,000 school children visit the site annually from across the state, including the Lower Sioux and Upper Sioux communities in Morton and Granite Falls. A center is needed to serve and manage all these people and to protect the sacred site that is there, the sacred Dakota site. It will also directly benefit the economy and the region. We estimate 35,000 to over 100,000 people visiting per year to the center. And so we'll be connecting visitors with other businesses and attractions in the region and beyond. The urgent need and additional benefits benefits translate to wide-ranging support, especially from the Native American community. After this bonding allotment, you will not see us again. We will cover all future costs, maintenance, and operations. So don't look too happy, but we're glad to. In sum, we respectfully request this bonding allotment of $3 million for the Waukon TP Center. Thank you.
That's some of the best news of the day. Next, Dr. Baker of the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office, and on deck is Tim Marks. Dr. Baker, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. I'm Dr. Andrew Baker, the medical examiner for Hennepin, Dakota, and Scott counties. 3 counties that I'd like to point out for 4 years have been partnering to provide death investigation services. We've recently signed an agreement to continue that for the next 30 years. Our office provides service to 1.7 million Minnesotans, which is a third of the state. We are a 24/7 mission-critical function of a government. The answers we provide address a grieving family's most difficult questions and ensure that juries understand complex injuries. Medical examiners in Minnesota are required to be forensic pathologists, a field in critically short supply. Our current national estimate is approximately 500 of us practicing full-time in a country that needs at least 1,100. Our office has been nationally accredited for more than 30 years and remains among the only 70 to 80 offices nationwide to be nationally accredited. The families we serve expect that their loved ones' remains are housed in an accredited facility and always examined by board-certified specialists. Maintaining national accreditation is a primary driver for our request for a regional medical examiner facility. Some of you have toured my office and recall the woeful lighting, the cramped hallways, the crowded processing room, the body cooler near capacity, and the autopsy suite with its low ceiling and limited number of tables. We have outgrown the 50-year-old repurposed county building we occupy. Outgrowing our current facility is another primary driver for a regional medical examiner facility. We operate one of only 36 programs in the country that trains future medical examiners. The chief medical examiners of the Hennepin, Anoka, and Ramsey ME offices are all alumni of our training program. Recruiting the best trainees into Minnesota, populating our own and other medical examiner offices with our trainees is a major reason the state should have a vested interest in our long-term success as a regional office. Our work informs law enforcement, the courts, the media, and every facet of public safety and public health. A new regional medical examiner facility, which we are ready to move on, will ensure the training and retention of the talent Minnesota needs to continue world-class death investigation. This project was in your bill last year, and we'd like to be in it again this year. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Representative Hausman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. When we toured your facility, which, by the way, I don't ever want to do again, you didn't have a location. Do you now have a location?
Mr. Chair.
Representative Hausman.
Representative Hausman, yes, we do have a location.
Okay. Thank you. Representative Beard, welcome. Do you have anything very short to tell us?
Very short, Mr. Chairman and members. I'm appearing before you today as Commissioner Mike Beard, Chair of the Scott County Board, just to add our support. Dakota and Scott County several years ago entered into a joint powers agreement because we recognized excellence in the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office. Rather than tax our citizens to duplicate the service, we've joined forces with Hennepin County. We'd like to lend our support as you consider making a great bill even better, Mr. Chairman. Add the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office back into the bill. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. And I have also toured this facility, and I just want to be sure that if we fund this, I never have to go back. At least in my present
I can agree
form.
to that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Who?
Mr. Chair.
Oh, Representative Lilly.
Mr. Chair, just wondering also if maybe those that decide to vote against it perhaps can go on like a night tour and that sort of thing.
That might be risky. Thank you. Okay, next we have Tim Marks, CEO and President of Catholic Charities, with Julie Trudy, the Mayor of Andover, next. Mr. Marks.
Mr. Chair, members, I am Tim Marks. I'm the CEO of Catholic Charities, here to testify in support of full funding for the new Dorothy Day Place in St. Paul. The Dorothy Day Place Center hit a crisis point in 2011, where the first time in 30 years we had to turn people away because the conditions were undignified, they were overcrowded, and they were unsanitary. and camps sprung up in the surrounding area. But thankfully, the community sprung into action because business and government, state and local, and philanthropy came together with a bold no vision that is now on the cusp of being completed. Thanks to state support in 2014, general obligation and housing bonds, the first part of that vision, Higher Ground St. Paul, opened in January and is providing housing and hope to 473 people, some who have been homeless for over 20 years. But the job is not done. We need an opportunity center for job training and other services, and much more safe, simple, affordable housing for those in need with very special needs. This project is the largest public-private partnership in housing and social services in state history. Under the leadership of 15 business and community leaders led by Doug Baker, Mary Brainerd, and Andy Cesari, they have raised nearly $40 million from 500 private donors. And they have done that with the expectation that the public will do its part. Our request is for $12 million of general obligation bonds and for the Opportunity Center, and $35 million or more of housing bonds to meet needs throughout the state, for which this project will compete at the housing agency. This is a broad and bipartisan coalition from the governor, the Senate Capital Investment Committee, and in what the House and the Senate passed last year. We were ready to be in the ground by now, and we must be in the ground this summer. Otherwise, we will lose millions of dollars of tax credit investment, and costs will increase by at least $2 million. This Friday is our annual Dorothy Day Community Breakfast, a gathering of 400 business and civic leaders, and I am confident that we will say that we have raised that $40 million of private money. You are invited to this breakfast and urged to adopt a bill from this committee that completes the public share of this historic partnership. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marks. Next, Mayor Julie Trude of Andover, with Sue Aberholden on deck.
Hi, thank you for allowing me to speak. Last month, you heard from City Administrator Jim Dickinson of Andover about a concern we have about a closed landfill site that is owned by the state of Minnesota. And I'm here to speak to the inadequate funding being provided to the Minnesota PCA to clean up the state-owned leaking hazardous waste site. I support the request of MPCA to fund $11.3 million to remove a hazardous waste pit that presents a risk to human health today. The site's often referred to as the WDE site. One of the very basic functions of government that we look at the city level and you look at the state level when weighing out funding priorities is what is our very basic job, and protecting the health, safety, and welfare of our residents is our most basic function. Few items today that you've heard from actually rise to the level of risk of a closed, leaking landfill that sits in the area within 1 mile of 5,000 children who are attending school each day, next to a creek that my son and the Andover Science Club unknowingly, unwittingly cleared litter from, that our local high school students are doing a prairie restoration project next to, that people kayak in. Very few people know that the leaching from this landfill is actually contaminating this waterway. Last year, a request was heard and MPCA completed engineering study. Today, we have a shelf-ready project ready to go for bids. We just need the 11.3 some odd million dollars to get this project cleaned. We have a growing youthful community. We have a lot of interest in protecting water and wildlife. We have 7 municipal wells within a mile of the site. So this risk is real. It's current. It's been going on for years. Many other methods have been tried. None of them have worked. It's time to clean up the pit and get it out of Andover. Thank you so much for considering my testimony today.
Thank you, Mayor. Next, we have Sue Aberholden from the Executive Director of NAMI, and Mayor Torville, you're on deck.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members. Sue Abderholden, Executive Director of NAMI Minnesota, National Alliance on Mental Illness, and we're a statewide organization dedicated to improving the lives of children and adults with mental illnesses. NAMI Minnesota is concerned that funding for the Minnesota Security Hospital renovations are not included in the bonding bill. We have consistently supported over the past few years funding for the planning and then for Phase 1 and for Phase 2. Phase 1 is nearly completed. I have met with families who have a loved one at the security hospital, and they have said that the new building is filled with light and that you are immediately filled with hope that your loved one will get better in this new setting. We've heard as well that patients and staff have noted that it has really impacted their recovery and that the atmosphere is now much more calm. If you've not been to the security hospital, you need to know that the environment is not great. There are split levels and poor sight lines. The people at the security hospital live with the most serious mental illnesses, and they need a setting that is therapeutic and safe. Phase 2, as we understand it, would remodel 4 of the living units, eliminating the split levels. It would add more acute care beds, which are important in order to help stabilize people coming into the security hospital before being placed on a living unit. It would add transitional housing to help people prepare to move gradually into the community. People at the security hospital are there for many years, often 6 to 8 years, and the state has a responsibility, since they have been committed to your care, to provide an environment that is safe and therapeutic. On behalf of NAMI Minnesota and the families who have a loved one there, I urge you to include funding for Phase 2 of the renovations. I also want to add that NAMI Minnesota is also supportive of the Dorothy Day Center and, of course, the Homes for All Coalition as well, because so many people with mental illness are homeless. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Mayor.
Good afternoon, and thank you to the committee. I'm Mayor George Urdahl from the city of Inver Grove Heights. And I'll try to, well, I will make this very brief. In taking a look, we have 2 requests. And one is for Broderick, which is a local city street. And we have got a situation, a unique situation, that we have state highway along its entire western border, and we have the Inver Hills Community College on half of the eastern border, and they also use it as overflow parking. And we're told to do a 429 assessment project, and we'd love to assess the state of Minnesota and Inver Hills Community College, but we know you can't do that. So we've had the project in queue for about 3 years. We have already got it planned, designed. We're putting up $1.8 million. We may have one of the smaller requests, and that is for $1 million. To allow us to finish this street. It connects 2 county roads and also serves as a frontage road. And actually, we tell people not to drive on it because it is tented, it is scarred, and we've done patching, and we just can't patch it anymore. So we would like your support on that, the $1 million request. And that is our first priority. The other request that we have is for $2 million in planning money in taking a look at Argenta and Highway 55. It is one of the last stoplights as you come south towards towards Egan. And it's having some fixing being done, and the problem that, not the problem, it's an opportunity. With the, we're looking at an increased traffic flow. We're anticipating it before we take a look at the Vikings new training center, which will be right to the east. It's been looked at as one of the travel segments, and I would just ask that you give us the $1 million for Broderick. We'll take a look in the future looking at the other request. And it is, we thank you for your time, your hard work, and your service, and we appreciate being considered. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next up, we have Emily Pugh from the Association of Minnesota Counties, and on deck would be Scott Hain, the General Manager of Worthington Public Utilities. Welcome.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, members, my name is Emily Pugh with the Association of Minnesota Counties. Thank you for the opportunity to testify this afternoon. First, I'd like to thank Chair Urdahl for including a significant amount of funding in the bill for both the local bridge replacement program and the local road improvement program. Both of these programs are in high demand. We understand the intense competition for limited funds, but want to emphasize the direct effect this program has on the safety of our roads and bridges across the state. I'd also like to stress the importance of funding for the local road wetland replacement program. We appreciate the legislature's swift action at the beginning of session to provide a one-time general fund appropriation of $5 million for this program. Unfortunately, that was only part of the fix, and the $10 million of bonding that was originally included in that bill was removed with the intention of adding it to the bonding bill later. Because the program has been underfunded for the last several years and didn't receive any funding last year, the $5 million that is currently included in the bill is simply not enough to get our wetland banking system back up and running. Securing $10 million for the local road wetland replacement program will ensure that our local road construction projects won't be delayed. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Now we have Scott Hain, General Manager, Worthington Public Utilities, with Mayor Emily Larson next. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, members of the committee. My name is Scott Hain. I'm General Manager, Worthington Public Utilities, and also a member of the Lewis and Clark Regional Water System Board of Directors. I believe that the Lewis and Clark project is familiar to probably all of you. We were here originally in 2014, received funding for Phase 1, received funding for Phase 2 in 2015. We're in the bonding bill last year for funding for the third and final phase, and of course, the bonding bill failed to pass, so we are back this year looking for that funding for the third and final phase of the project. Estimated cost of Phase 3, which will complete the Minnesota portion of the Lewis and Clark project, is $20.5 million. We do have $9 million in non-state funding available, leaving a balance of $11.5. Current version of House File 892, as was mentioned earlier in Article 2, Sections 1 and 2, does provide us access to surplus. We estimate $8 million in surplus from the 2015 appropriation. We are thankful for that. That leaves a balance of $3.5 million for the project. Up until Monday, that $3.5 million was going to be provided through the jobs bill. It was in there as a cash appropriation in the jobs bill, but that fell out during conference on Monday. So we thank the committee certainly for the language in Article 2 that gives us access to the $8 million in surplus from the 2015 appropriation, and respectfully request that the committee consider through the bonding bill funding that remaining $3.5 million.
Thank you. That's another project that I've been to, and I saw the big pipe and need to finish the job.
Thank you.
Next is Scott Hain. Whoops. I'm sorry. Emily Pugh.
Emily Larson.
Emily Larson. Oh, I got to check these off as I do them. Emily Larson.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, and thank you for your service to residents of Minnesota. My name is Emily Larson, and I am the mayor of the city of Duluth. For the past 2 years, you have heard from me and our downtown business community and other Duluth officials about the highest priority project for the city of Duluth. We have advocated for $21 million to help us convert our 90-year-old steam plant, coal-fired steam plant, into a closed-loop hot water heating system for the entire downtown district, for Canal Park, and our Duluth Entertainment Convention Center. And when we saw the spreadsheet for the House bonding bill, we were disappointed that funding for the steam plant upgrade was not included. We are hopeful that as this bill moves through the process, you will be able to prioritize funds to make this project a reality for the city of Duluth. This truly is a once-in-a-lifetime, once-in-a-generation opportunity. The construction of the new hot water lines will coincide with the reconstruction of our main street, Superior Street, through our downtown district, and it is really not practical for us to make heating system improvements after the Superior Street project has been completed, and truly we can't wait anymore. We need to begin construction in 2018. So the timing of this project is important, but so is the impact, because rather than converting cold lake water to steam over and over, this closed loop will make much more efficient use of resources. And that's important because the City of Duluth has set the attainable and proactive goal to cut our greenhouse gas emissions 80% by 2050, a goal that has been overwhelmingly supported by the community and has been set in concert with our energy partners. The steam plant alone, this closed loop, and our recent pilot project to shift from coal to natural gas gets us 20% towards that goal. So this is a win-win proposition for the state, for the city, for the environment. It's why I'm here again. I appreciate that you have visited the facility, that you have patiently listened to our presentations. And in closing, I ask that you create the opportunity to fund this important project as part of the 2017 capital investment bill. And in a time of increasingly divisive politics, just want to offer that this project has overwhelming support from a very broad coalition of business and environment and stakeholders in the city of Duluth. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. And as we've been told that it has to be cash.
Yeah, yes. And may I explain why?
Yes.
Okay, so it's an issue that is rooted in the state constitution, because this project, the state constitution allows for entering into GO bond agreements for public projects, and this particular one involves the interaction of a public heating utility with private customers. And so we can provide some additional information to you through our lobbyist and other means in follow-up to this.
Okay, thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, thank you.
Next, we have Terry Wilding from the Minnesota State Academies. And next, we will have Jay Severance, Board of Directors, All Aboard Minnesota. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Hello, I'm Terry Wilding. I'm superintendent for the Minnesota State Academies in Faribault. And first, I want to thank you all for giving us the funding for asset preservation and design for our new security corridor. That's been very important for our students. Also, from the last bonding bill, one project was missing from this bill, and that's in regard to our track field at the Minnesota State Academy for the Blind. We've needed a new track. We're one of few schools in the state that doesn't have our own track, so that we've been fortunate enough to use our neighboring schools' track, but they're currently in process of getting rid of their track and replacing it with a different athletic facilities. So we're really in dire need for a new track ourselves, for our own track and field. Our students often have many different challenges that require more exercise, more outdoor activities to build their strength and wellness, their health and wellness needs, so we need funding for that track. So I'm hoping that you'll consider adding that project into this bill. It was in the previous bonding bill. We also want to explain to you about the idea that most schools don't ask for that kind of funding because they're able to tax levy their home areas. We don't have the opportunity to tax levy, so we're asking for your support for anything that happens on our campus. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, Jay Severance, Board of Directors, All Aboard Minnesota. And I turn to the back page now. On deck, Paul Allwood, Assistant Commissioner, Department of Health. Welcome, Mr. Severance.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and committee members. I'm Jay Severance. I'm a board member of All Aboard Minnesota. We're a nonprofit education and advocacy group supporting Amtrak and intercity passenger rail. Hopefully you have my written testimony, and I'll try to summarize it briefly. We're requesting that you provide the nominal but necessary bonding of $1 million to support the governor's budget request of $900,000 per year for the state passenger rail plan. Bonding bills for this were introduced in the House and Senate by Representative Haley and Senator Miller earlier in the session, requesting $1 million to fund the projects currently nearing completion. We're very disappointed, however, that the legislature has provided for neither the governor's budget request nor requested bond funding in the just released Transportation Omnibus and this bonding bill. The result is that no funds have been budgeted nor provided for the passenger rail program. In effect, the program would be defunded under the legislature's current proposals. The MnDOT passenger rail office discontinued, and current and future projects would cease, potentially delaying any improvement or expansion of Amtrak intercity passenger rail for years, if ever. 2 projects currently nearing completion would be stopped: the Twin Cities to Duluth Northern Lights Express and additional service to Milwaukee and Chicago, which is being developed jointly with the state of Wisconsin as an extension of the Chicago-Milwaukee-Hiawatha service. Both of these services are going to be shovel-ready in 2017 and 2018 to start service in 2019 and 20 unless funding is denied. These projects are public-private partnerships with freight railroads using existing rights-of-way and tracks. This provides benefits of minimal infrastructure investment and maintenance costs, return of leases through taxes, and more private sector employment. It should be noted that Minnesota lags other states in the Midwest and nationally, which are aggressively pursuing expanded state-supported Amtrak networks. Primary benefits are in the rural and outstate communities, and the bad news here is that with the current lack of funding, these benefits could be lost and Minnesota could be left at the station. In closing, train days are this Saturday down at St. Paul Union Depot. Please come down and see us.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members. My name is Paul Allwood. I'm Assistant Commissioner at the Minnesota Department of Health. And I want to thank all of you for the opportunity to speak to you today about the Department of Health's bonding request. The governor recommended $2.335 million to provide for new instruments in the public health lab. It was part of last year's bonding bill that didn't pass, and this year's bill does not include any of that funding. The funds are needed because for 3 reasons. First, the demand for testing by the public health lab have increased and are more complex. The lab has equipment that has passed their useful end of life, or past the end of their useful life. And there is no dedicated mechanism to fund capital equipment in the public health lab. I just want to also point out that the current measles epidemic that we're experiencing underscores the urgency of this request. As many of you know, there are well over 24 cases of measles currently, and there are many more people exposed. The department is responding to this very fully, but the public health lab is a very vital part of this response. The lab is performing advanced molecular studies to identify cases of measles and also to distinguish between measles and other conditions which have similar signs and symptoms. The funds that we're requesting will be used to provide approximately 15 instruments ranging in cost from $40,000 to about $400,000. These newer instruments will be more sensitive and will be more reliable and will enhance our ability and capabilities for critical testing in food safety, in emerging infectious disease, in rare and treatable disorders in newborns, and in chemicals of emerging concerns. We would encourage and urge the members to consider reinstating those funds. And in closing, I'd just like to also put a plug of support in for the request for drinking water infrastructure funds. That's a critical public health need, and we think that it's important that that request be funded fully. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Allwood. Next, we have Commissioner Hardy of Deed with Commissioner Frederickson of Agriculture next. Welcome.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to speak. For the record, my name is Shantira Hardy. I'm the Commissioner at the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development, also known as DEED. In January, Governor Dayton and Lieutenant Governor Smith introduced a $1.5 billion bonding bill that would build more than 240 projects across Minnesota and create an estimated 23,000 jobs. This public investment would have provided support for local economies across the state. I want to briefly discuss 4 DEED programs impacted by this bill: the Business Development Public Infrastructure Program, the Transportation Economic Development Program, the Innovative Business Development Public Infrastructure Grant Program, and the South Minneapolis Workforce Center. I thank you for funding these proposals in the bill. However, the level of funding is inadequate. The Business Development Public Infrastructure Program, or BDPI, is currently out of money and has over $4 million in pending requests, which is a huge demand. The program grants to cities in greater Minnesota for up to 50% of the capital costs of public infrastructure necessary to expand economic growth, retain and create jobs, or increase the tax base. BDPI has funded multiple greater Minnesota projects, including businesses in Spring Grove, 2 harbors, and Wyndham, just to name a few. The governor recommended an estimated investment of $21 million for this program. I urge you to increase the funding to this level. The Transportation Program, Economic Development Program, also known as TED, is a competitive grant program investing in highway improvement and public infrastructure projects, a critical program that DEED partners with MnDOT to run. This program provides about 70% of the cost for trunk highway interchanges and improvements. Each time we have performed a grant round for this program, we've had more requests than funding. Governor Dayton recommended an investment of $10 million for this program. We believe demand will approach and exceed the committee's recommended $7 million. Lastly, the Innovative Business Development Infrastructure Program. This program also focuses on capital needs. I encourage you to take the governor's recommendation of $5 million in investment. And the Workforce Center in Minneapolis was not included in the bill. This was a request for about $1.3 million for asset preservation for repair for the Workforce Center. The roof is leaking. The parking lot needs replaced. I urge you to invest in this Workforce Center to ensure that all Minnesotans have access to safe employment opportunities, and I urge you to invest in this critical investment. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions? Thank you, Commissioner.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I'm Dave Frederickson, Commissioner of
I have to make a
Agriculture.
commercial announcement.
Oh, commercial now.
Commissioner Frederickson will be next. Then we'll do Jeff Freeman of PFA. And then with about 7 left on my list and others who are not on the list who will also have the opportunity to testify, we're going to have to take a break because of caucus commitments that we have here. And we will come back at 6:30 to finish the testimony. So, Commissioner Frederickson.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Dave Frederickson, Commissioner of Agriculture. I'm here on behalf of our lab.
All right.
Today, a $2,218,000 cash investment in capital equipment was requested as part of the 2016 bonding bill. We are indeed in the governor's rec. This initiative would replace the most critically depreciated capital equipment. This initiative would add additional new capability and technology to better serve our program needs. An example of the work that we do in the lab in 2009, the laboratory in partnership with the Department of Health and the University of Minnesota and staff in our Dairy and Food Inspection Division was able to isolate and identify and trace back the cause of the king nut peanut butter outbreak, which inflicted salmonella illness on 714
Actually, time
confirmed
out here.
cases.
Time out quick, excuse me. For those who are leaving, we have had a slight change here. If there are folks that can't come back at 6:30, some of us will remain in here now and continue to take testimony. Others will be free to go, but if you want to stay, you can stay. Now,
where was I?
I don't remember.
Peanut butter, all right. Many of you remember with a certain amount of sadness that we had salmonella illness on 714 confirmed cases in 46 states. Including 44 cases right here in Minnesota, and sadly we had 1 death as a result of that outbreak. The Laboratory Service Division is unable to replace depreciating capital assets in excess of $30,000 on a scheduled basis. The laboratory evaluates the condition of its capital equipment by tracking its depreciated value. The Laboratory Services Division has capital assets with a received value of over $6 million, $6,190,000. Of these assets, 70% of their value are currently depreciated. The situation jeopardizes the department's ability to provide service and could certainly threaten public health and safety. Long-term costs and liabilities to the department are increased as systems begin to fail. Just as an example, and I know many of you are, in fact, you're probably all aware of this, and I feel a little stupid for even bringing it up, but and I know you know this, the cost of a matrix-assisted laser desorption ionizing biotyper runs exactly $221,000. And I know you knew that, but I just wanted to remind you of the cost of, some of the really technical equipment that we have. So I certainly encourage you to consider this. We co-locate with the Department of Health. Commissioner Allwood was just here. We have a world-class facility. We want to keep it that way. Thanks, Mr. Chairman and members.
Thank you, Commissioner, and sorry for the interruptions there.
You owe me.
Mr. Freeman.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair, and I do have a handout if there's a page that can bring this around. My name is Jeff Freeman, with Executive Director of the Public Facilities Authority. I want to thank you, Mr. Chair, for the support for PFA programs in your bill. We have literally hundreds of projects on our priority list that have indicated they need to go to construction within the next year or two, and those funds are desperately needed. However, the funding is short of the governor's recommended levels, and there will be projects on the current list, ready-to-go projects in the next year that would not be funded at those lower levels. The governor's recommendation is for $25 million for state matching funds to US EPA capitalization grants. Those are the funds that support our clean water and drinking water revolving loan funds. These are low-interest loans for cities across the state, big and small. These are the state's largest infrastructure financing programs. Because they're revolving loan funds, they do have ongoing lending capacity. Currently, the Clean Water Program has annual capacity of about $94 million, the Drinking Water Program about $39 million. However, the requests for those funds are 2 to 3 times or more what the lending capacity is. Just for the 2017 request, $239 million for clean water loans, $204 million for drinking water loans. The second request is the governor recommends $80 million for the wastewater infrastructure funding program. This is the grants based on affordability criteria. And finally, $62 million for the point source implementation grant program. You're used to seeing I come with big green and blue spreadsheets. I spared you to give you the full sheets today, but in the handout that is coming around, it does pull out the wastewater and drinking water and WIF projects as well as the PSIG projects, so you can see the specific projects that would be eligible. And just to respond to Representative Hansen's earlier question, we have, of course, funded drinking water infrastructure projects through the revolving loan fund for many years, and there is a small amount of the federal dollars that are that can be used and have been used for affordability grants within those federal dollars. On the state side, expanding the WIF program for drinking water is new. However, if you look at the list of drinking water WIF projects, I think there's one, the top priority for a relatively small amount for nitrate treatment, but the vast majority of those projects are basic infrastructure replacement, aging pipes, old treatment plants, basic infrastructure replacement where cities need those funds to make projects affordable. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Freeman, thank you. And this is not at the governor's level that we have. How much less is it than the bill that almost passed last year?
I don't know exactly. It is somewhat smaller than the bill that passed last year.
Okay, thank you. At this time, first of all members, please, I'll come to you in a second, Representative Hausman. All members, please put their paperwork, if they're leaving us, into their folders so that we don't lose that. Representative Hausman?
I was just going to make a request for the gentleman at the elevator whose name I do
Okay.
not know, but who was going to be unable to come back.
We'll get to that
Okay.
as soon as we get to that.
Okay.
And then those who need to leave now for caucus or whatever else you need to leave for may do so. You're welcome back. We'll sit here and those of us who wish to do so and continue this discussion. So I'll take a minute timeout here for to avoid disruptions as people pack up. Sir?
Well, then, after the gentleman, what do we do?
Mr. Chair and committee members, I appreciate the extra time that you're taking to stay here. My name is Todd Kemery. I'm the current Vice President for the Paralyzed Veterans of America. And I'm here to speak on behalf of all of us veterans. And I may start with this. It took me pretty much the last hour of revising these words, so as I'm cutting into my time here, let me quickly get to my point. As a Marine, we've been taught and we live the concept to support and care for that Marine to the left and to the right of us. That is pretty much the concept that is taught throughout the different services. We rightly provide care for our newly injured veterans, service and non-service connected alike. However, I would like to focus on the need for your equal consideration for our veterans in their sunset years. And having said that, the handout that was listed, I built upon these comments on basically the amend House File 892 and page 22 after line 11 and insert the Minneapolis Veterans Home Trust Bridge project. You have heard from other people talk about the facts and figures and the safety factors on that, but primarily I just wanted to be able to make a comment about our veterans that are getting on in their years. They're towards the end of their lifespan, and we would like to see ourselves, and not only ourselves, but the state to take care of those veterans. And please to adjust the amounts accordingly, as the words are in this handout, and please to amend the title accordingly. And with that, I appreciate the opportunity and your willingness to stay behind and listen while everybody else is on break. So again, thank you very much.
Thank you. I believe next we will do Commissioner Casilius, Education Commissioner, and on deck is Mary Tingerthal still here?
But Commissioner Dolman is here.
Okay, you're next.
I get points for that. Yeah, you do. Thank you, Mr. Chair and members, for allowing me to testify today. I just wanted to talk about one provision, and then also thank you for being able to put into your bill the Olmsted dyslexia appropriation, and also libraries being in there. And then just briefly mention, I also support any kind of support you can give to the deaf and blind school and their athletics program. I think that that's absolutely critical to their health and well-being. I'm here to make a request, however, for the Red Lake bonding. It's $14 million to pay for 6 new classrooms, a larger class cafeteria, reading and music and cultural activities, as well as an early learning center. This is incredibly important, as As Mr. Chair knows from the Education Committee, our American Indian kids are some of our most neediest children, as well as on the Red Lake Reservation. They don't have opportunities in which to afford these buildings themselves and these improvements. And it's just really important to their health and well-being, and the research shows that children who are in facilities that are enriching and engaging and safe, they do better academically. So I would just urge you to fund this. Over the many years, we've taken a piecemeal approach to the Red Lake requests, and it would be nice to be able to do this. Finally, in the DHS budget, I'm sure that Commissioner Piper has talked about this, the early learning facility funding. Hopefully you'll consider putting that back in as well. So thank you so much for allowing me to speak on this matter today.
Thank you, Commissioner Casilius. Commissioner?
Good afternoon. For the record, my name is Mona Doman, and I'm the Commissioner of Public Safety, and I appreciate the opportunity to come before you today, Chair Urdahl and members of the committee. If I had a get out of jail free card, I'd give it to you for future use, but first of all, I want to thank you for
I wouldn't need it.
I don't know what that. First of all,
You have a McLeod County connection, don't you?
I do actually, yes. First of all, I want to thank you for including the oil train and pipeline safety training facility in this bill. This will expand the Joint Emergency Response Training Center at Camp Ripley, and it is a critical investment for first responders across the state to ensure that they are well trained and prepared to respond to any incident that would occur in their communities. The expansion will build the infrastructure so local responders from across the entire state will have a centrally located facility to learn, train, and best understand the risk posed by the transportation of oil and other hazardous substances throughout our communities. That investment of $3.5 million will enhance existing training facilities at Camp Ripley to create a realistic environment where firefighters, police officers, emergency medical professionals, emergency managers, elected officials, and others will train together on how to effectively respond should an incident occur in their community or region. So I want to thank you greatly for including that in this bill. There's another public safety project with statewide impact, also part of the governor's bill, that I hope you will consider or reconsider including in this bill. It is the investment in a stable, secure, dependable, and redundant emergency operations center, which is critical to meet the needs of local governments. When disasters happen and local governments simply don't have the resources to respond and recover, they call upon the state and they call the Department of Public Safety. When we get the call, we implement the state's emergency operations plan and we activate the State Emergency Operations Center, where we coordinate state resources in our efforts to assist our public safety partners in the communities that they serve. There's a common misperception that the Emergency Operations Center sits empty and quiet until an emergency happens. In reality, the UOC and our Homeland Security and Emergency Management offices are very busy. Since 2010, the EOC has been activated for disaster response a total of 459 days, including most recently the flash flooding last September in south central Minnesota. During the last 5 years, the EOC has hosted nearly 3,300, actually 3,294 to be exact, events, not counting our daily office activities. It is heavily used for trainings, exercises, meetings, conferences, and media events. It is a very busy place, even without emergencies. The current EOC is located in downtown St. Paul in a leased space in a busy, mixed-use, and densely developed area. It sits right on top of a public underground parking ramp. Its street-level exterior wall is literally 12 feet from the light rail tracks. We have no ability to secure the approaches to the facility. The doors to the EOC are our first and last access barriers. If you have not had an opportunity to visit us, I would like to invite you, Mr. Chair and members, to come to the EOC so you can see it firsthand. We believe these shortcomings are unacceptable for a critical, no-fail public safety and continuity of government facility. The people of Minnesota, the people that you represent and we all serve, depend on it and us to be there on a bad day when they need us most. The investment for this project is $33.3 million. A previous legislature saw the need and appropriated money for planning and design. I hope that you will reconsider and include it in this bill, as the governor has in his, so that we can complete the project. Thank you for your support of the work we do, and thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Do we have Greta Gauthier here? Apparently that's no.
They were here, they may have left, coming back at 6:30.
Oh, yes. Dakota County Commissioner Mike Slavic. Lynn Butcher, is she here? Yes. Well, you're next then.
Good evening, Mr.
Welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Chair and members. My name is Mike Slavic, Dakota County Commissioner, and I'm here tonight to talk regarding our #1 priority in bonding, the 107-year-old Lake Billsby Dam, in particular our 107-year-old turbines. These turbines actually are representing a 9-county watershed where the water all runs from the Cannon River to the Lake Billsby Dam, and those turbines are becoming inefficient and causing more safety issues as well as inefficiencies in its production. Dakota County has already invested over $6 million in this high-hazard dam to meet the federal requirements and keep the dam safe. What we are looking for is the $7.5 million, which is half of the cost, the other half covered by Dakota County taxpayers to do this, which will in turn create the capacity will increase nearly double the increased capacity, as well as producing clean renewable energy, reducing the cost by over 60%. And we do appreciate that this regional significant project be considered for inclusion in any bonding bill. Thank you.
Thank you, and I want to assure you that your representatives have been representing you on this.
Yes, thank you very much.
Is Bradley Peterson here? You're next, Mr. Peterson. Ms. Butcher?
Mr. Chair and committee members, thank you for taking this testimony. Thank you for staying behind. My name is Lynn Butcher. I am a training and development specialist at the Minnesota Security Hospital. I have come here representing the 220 Minnesota Association of Professional Employee positions at the Minnesota Security Hospital in the St. Peter campus to express our disappointment that the $70 million bonding for Phase 2 of construction on our campus was not included in this bill. This is the second year in a row. As you said, you did not pass a bonding bill last year. We testified then, and the proposed bonding bill that was offered also did not include this funding. Deputy Commissioner Johnson and Sue Abderholden spoke about the need for improvements at the Minnesota Security Hospital. As a trainer, I prepare new employees for the challenges of dealing with people who are mentally ill and dangerous. We take people from every one of your districts. If a constituent in your district falls to mental illness, and because of that mental illness, they hurt someone, or they commit a crime, or they damage property, they come to us. They deserve a safe place to heal. And that means not being in treatment units that have blind corners and metal stairs and opportunities for very vulnerable people to be preyed upon by those predatory patients that we also serve. Our staff also deserves a safe place to work. If you read the paper, and I hope you do, you will have read over the last 5 years that we have had high incidences of staff injuries. We have had people who have lost their ability to work because of these injuries, and they do so because they work in unsafe conditions. Without this funding, without this project, the state is derelict in its duty to provide a safe workplace for our employees. And it is derelict in its duty to provide a safe place for Minnesotans to receive treatment when they are ill. I thank you again for taking this testimony, and I ask you to reconsider your decision not to include this funding in your bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Peterson, and this is Kent Sulam here. How about Sarah Wolf? Ron Harnick. Well, I tell you what, if Barbara Jeanette. Yeah. Others, if you have, if you wish to make a presentation to us, and you have not signed up, you're not on my list, there's a row open right here in front. Why don't you sit there? And if it's overflow, we'll put you someplace else. I tell you what.
All people that have decided to testify.
Fill in as they get up and testify. Mr. Peterson, and you're next.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Bradley Peterson, here today on behalf of the Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities. I appreciate the opportunity to address two items that are in your bill. First off, the Greater Minnesota Business Development Public Infrastructure Grant Program, which Commissioner Hardy did an excellent job of explaining its impact in communities across the state. We appreciate the funding that you have in your bill. Secondly, I want to touch on the water infrastructure pieces of your bill. Mr. Freeman from the PFA did an excellent job of outlining the great need across the state. Hundreds of communities on his list that need funding. We have been very vocal supporters of the governor's $167 million for the three programs that he talked about. And Mr. Chair, as we go forward here, we will be vocal cheerleaders for even more money than is currently carried in this bill in the process. Growing up in the suburbs, I took flushing the toilet very much for granted. But as I have gotten to travel our great state over the last 10 years, what I have discovered is that there is almost no issue that keeps Greater Minnesota leaders up at night more than how do they maintain these systems and how do they pay for the upgrades that are needed. And so whether it is chloride in Morris or mercury on the Iron Range, there are great, great needs across the state, and we look forward to working with you to get even more money for these programs.
Thank you. And Ms. Belisle, you may sit down, and you are up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Thank you for staying and listening. My name is Don Arnosti, and I represent the Isaac Walton League. I'm here to
spell your last name, please.
A-R-N-O-S-T-I. I did send an email to Gavin, but I understand you probably were swamped. I'm here to underscore three programs that you did include in your bonding bill, and I want to thank you for that, but I wanted to point out the public interest in funding these programs fully. You've heard already about the St. Louis River cleanup and the fact that the amount that was proposed for last year's bonding bill was appropriate for last year, but this year we have $47 million, which has just been approved on a budget bill that went to the president today. And we're not certain that that money is going to be there starting October 1st. It's prudent for the state of Minnesota to appropriate the $25.4 million to capture the full $47 million in federal funds which are available today. Number two, you've heard quite a bit about CREP, and I want to thank Representatives Gunther, Lilly, Hausman, and Hansen for authoring a bill, House File 1568, which proposes a deeper investment in CREP to the tune of $45 million. What I'd like to point out, as was mentioned earlier, is there are $2.3 federal dollars sitting there for every dollar you put forward. You have $10 million in the bill. Their bill proposes a $45 million investment. For each $10 million in state money that you put forward, there will be $33 million, the vast bulk of which will go to rural Minnesotans. It will go to the farmers and the landowners that right now are not making a lot of money and could use this kind of investment. These are willing landowners signing up for this program, identifying some of their lands that they agree are best option to the state in terms of an easement to protect water. And I would encourage you to try to capture the full federal funds that are available, up to $350 million if we complete the match. Finally, there's a program that doesn't have a match, but it's been pointed out many, many times as good governance. and that is the Local Government Roads Wetland Replacement Program. It's been called the most effective state-local partnership that we've had. It's a proven 20-year-old program. The only thing missing is the $5 million to bring us back up to the level where it can function smoothly with all the tricks and traps that we had to do earlier. So I please ask you to fully fund that program as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, someone else take that chair, and you're up.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. I'm Julie Blau, Legislative Director for AFSCME Council 5. Thank you for staying and listening to the concerns. I'd like to highlight that we have been back before the committee requesting the funding for Phase 2 of the Minnesota Security Hospital, the $70 million that is sorely needed. Safe staffing is a major issue for all workers at St. Peter, and we have had workers that have gone to work in the morning and gone home at night injured for the rest of their lives. And it's a very serious concern, as well as the funding for the Phase 2 of the St. Cloud intake facility, which falls in line with safe staffing as well. Both of those are major projects that need to be completed for the safety of the employees and those that are in those institutions, as well as the general public. In addition, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that we were disappointed in that there's $77 million just in HEPR funds alone between the University of Minnesota and MNSCU that are not included in this bill compared to what the governor recommended, as well as $19 million from DNR for asset preservation. And again, many of those are work sites that our members work in on a daily basis. And would like to thank you for taking our testimony and willing to listen to our concerns.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Chair Urdahl and
Wait.
committee members.
Did I get the next one coming up now? Well, and actually, we do have a couple we can call on. I would like, you can sit down, Mr. Larson. But Commissioner Tengerthal is out there, I believe. You would be next, and then
I'm Barb
after.
Janetta.
What?
I'm Barb Janetta. I was on your list.
You're Barb Janetta?
Yep.
Okay. And then Joanne Montgomery will be, so it's you two, the Commissioner, Tengerthal, and then Joanne Montgomery. Okay? So, let's get her rolling again.
All right. I'm Barb Janetta. I'm the Executive Director of Alliance Housing in Minneapolis. Our work makes it possible for single adults and families to create a home for themselves. I met Thomas 2 years ago. He was living in a beat-up old Corolla outside of the Alcoholics Anonymous office right near our house. He had a 20-year-old criminal conviction, and he was tired of hearing landlords tell him no every time he filed a rental application, so he was living in his car. He moved into one of our sleeping rooms. He pays $350 a month, which he can afford from his Social Security check. And he pays his rent on time, he quits smoking, and he can manage his diabetes. That's what happens when people have stable housing. We'd like to build Minnehaha Commons in Representative Dabney's District 63A. It's on Lake Street in the Longfellow neighborhood. It would be 43 studios for homeless adults age 55 and older. Most of these folks would be screened out of every 55-plus apartment building in Minneapolis and the Twin Cities right now because they have old evictions, old criminal histories, and poor credit. And the rental market is very tight right now and very cruel for people who need a second chance. Yet once they're housed, there'll be less of a draw on public services. There's proven data that shows they visit the hospital and emergency rooms less, they draw less on crisis services, and certainly are less of a public safety nuisance. This project needs a commitment of housing infrastructure bonds, which I know are on your bill, so I want to thank you for that and encourage you to support them. We'll line up in the RFP this summer with Minnesota Housing and hopefully get this project funded and built in 2018. So thank you for potentially housing 43 older adults and getting people like Thomas off the street.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'm Keith Carlson,
I'm
Minnesota.
sorry, I said Larson earlier, but
No problem,
you've seen one
Mr. Chairman.
Swede, you've seen them all, frankly.
That's right. Mr. Chairman, members, Keith Carlson, both Swede and a Norwegian. Thank you very much. I'm with the Minnesota Intercounty Association. I also want to thank you for the funding in there in the bill for local roads and bridge replacement. I do want to emphasize for you that if the funding for the local road wetland replacement program is not brought up to the desired level of 10 million, 5 million for each years, some of those programs, as well as those in the transportation funding bill, House File 861, will be frustrated because there won't be enough credits to meet the state's obligation to pay for the wetlands mitigation for improvements to existing roadways. I want to make it clear, counties, cities, and townships are affected by this, and we pay the full tab when we build new roads or expand the capacity on existing roads. This program is a 21-year-old program where the state obligated itself in the face of strong local resistance to the state's Wetland Conservation Act. I also want to emphasize that Representative Fabian's 434 that you passed earlier in the session will not take care of this issue beyond essentially the end of this calendar year. With that and the $5 million in this bill, you're basically going to get us about halfway through the 2018 construction season. And you're spending very expensive dollars to do this. The Fabian bill spent cash, not bonding authorizations, to meet this obligation, and did it in such a way that it's very expensive because we're going to the local private sector to replace what should be state wetlands banks, and we're also being penalized by the Corps of Engineers for not having those wetland banks in the place they should be. Thank you very much for the opportunity to testify.
Thank you. Are you Ms. Montgomery?
Yeah,
Then, okay, we're in line.
okay.
Welcome. Begin, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Joanne Montgomery, and I live at 314 Hennepin Avenue, Minneapolis, Public Housing Authority high-rise building. I am active and engaged resident who serves on my high-rise representative council. I am also active with our citywide tenant organization. That's the Minneapolis High-Rise Representative Council. 3 years ago, some of us came to the Capitol to tell legislators about our building's capital needs and to ask for bonding money to help address them. While Minneapolis received only $1 million, we are grateful that $20 million was included in that bonding bill for public housing rehab to help improve public housing buildings for thousands of low-income elderly and disabled residents statewide. I am here to tell you that the need is still great. Our buildings are well made and deserving a preservation, but many of our systems are over 50 years old and in drastic need for major repairs or replacement. MPHA has a backlog of over $127 million in unmet capital needs, and that number will rise to $500 million in 20 years. Yes, the federal government should be supporting these capital needs, but the fact is that they are not. In 1999, MPHA's capital fund grant from HUD was approximately $17 million, but dropped to 13 from 2001 to 2010. And it's been declining every year since. In recent years, that HUD's funding has been 40% less than what it was in 1999. That's why I urge you to support the proposed $10 million in GO bonds for public housing. Public housing is a vital resource for our state's most vulnerable citizens. This source is my home, the homes of so many Minnesotans, and it deserves to be protected. Thank you. And I've been there for 15 years. And if you want information, you can call Barb Harris, email her at barbharris@MPLS High Rise Organization. Or call it at 612-342-1333. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Montgomery. And next, Commissioner Tingerthal. And we'll go next, well, I guess with you. And then we're going to go back to Greta Gauthier. She's here, right? Yeah. Greta, are you here? Well, let me know if you find her. All right. Commissioner, begin, please.
Mr. Chair and members of the committee, thank you for hearing from me. My name is Mary Tingerthal, and I am the Commissioner of the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency. I want to start by thanking the committee and the chair for including $10 million in general obligation bonds for the rehab of public housing, which you just heard about very eloquently. Over the last several years, we've used similar funds to fund nearly 50 projects, 3,400 units all over the state of Minnesota, 75% of which are outside of the Twin Cities area. And as you just heard from our last testifier, there are hundreds of millions of dollars of needed improvements. So this is a small down payment, but an important one. We also want to thank you for including the language in Article 2 that will allow us to efficiently use the existing debt service to issue up to another $20 million in the other program that I want to speak about, housing infrastructure bonds. Sadly, Ms. Janetta, who you just heard from, was incorrect. There are no dollars right now in this bill for housing infrastructure bonds. We were disappointed by that. I listened to the chair's comments earlier, and this is something that was included in the bill that did not pass last year with strong bipartisan support at a level of $35 million. So I want to encourage you to reconsider and include at a minimum the $35 million that was in that program last year. This is a mere half of what was requested in the governor's bonding bill. And I also wish to ask you to support the inclusion of the $12 million for the Dorothy Day Center that you heard about from Tim Marks earlier to allow us to complete that important project. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So did Greta Gauthier come back? All right, then you're up, and who wants to be next? Okay, go get him.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. My name is Rob Vanasek, here on behalf of the 35W Solutions Alliance, which is made up of the counties of Scott, Dakota, Hennepin, the cities of Elko, New Market, Lakeville, Burnsville, Savage, Bloomington, Richfield, and Minneapolis. 35W is a vital link in the highway system for the state of Minnesota. A major freight corridor, and its immediate traffic shed affects a third of the population of the state. It's the most heavily traveled corridor in the state, with hundreds of thousands of vehicles traveling it every day, causing 3 to 5 hours of traffic congestion each workday. Want to thank the chair and the committee for the $25 million for the 35W and Lake Street access project that addresses a major bottleneck for commuters and freight every day, and gets folks off the freeway a little earlier and to major employment centers. But also want to point out that a piece that's missing in the bill is the $12.1 million for the Orange Line Bus Rapid Transit project, which that $12.1 million leverages a $150 million project, all of which the money is ready. That project is ready to go. Currently, 41% of the folks on 35W during rush hour are moving on a bus. That is equivalent to a lane, full lane and a half of traffic. The Orange Line has the support of Republicans and Democrats from over a dozen districts up and down the corridor, and the support of both Congressman Lewis and Ellison. And let's make this bill an even heavier infrastructure bill. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Vanasek.
Thank you.
And
Mr. Chair and members, my name is Patricia Nauman. I'm the Executive Director of Metro Cities, and I will be very brief today. I just want to thank you for including funding for the Metropolitan Inflow and Infiltration Program in the bonding bill, capital investment bill. These funds do provide very important assistance to metro area communities that are required to undertake I&I mitigation improvements when they are found to be contributing excess levels of inflow and infiltration into the regional wastewater system. This is very basic infrastructure. It's as basic as you can get. You don't notice it until something goes wrong, such as sewer backups in homes. So we appreciate the assistance included in this bill, Mr. Chair, for this purpose, and look forward to working with you as the capital investment conversations continue.
Always nice to hear comments like that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lori, I would like Lori Olson to come up next, please, and then you can fill in after her. So Lori Olson's coming up, and you're on.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Councilmember Dick Vitelli, City of West St. Paul. I'm here to speak briefly, very briefly, on Amendment A10, going to be introduced for $12 million. Trunk Highway 952A, better known as Robert Street, through the City of West St. Paul, has been rebuilt, is in the process of completion. It has been undertaken by the city. We are disproportionately paying the share that normally would be burdened by the state. We are asking for $12 million to bring the state up to their fair share for this project. It is just, I guess I'll be brief, I'm done. We need that $12 million to make the state share of this project what it normally would be, and it would take it off the burden of the taxpayers in the City of West St. Paul than their property tax.
That's very good.
Thank you very much.
Ms. Olson, and come on up. No, the gentleman that had has the hat on. You, with the.
She's with Ms. Olson.
I don't know.
I think those two women are together.
And then, was it the lady that was starting to come up? She could be next. Ms. Olson, please.
Chair and members of the committee, I am Lori Olson, a registered nurse at Minnesota Security Hospital. We serve patients court committed as mentally ill and dangerous. I am disappointed our facility is not included in the bonding bill. Minnesota Security Hospital is unsafe. Our staff has suffered over 100 assaults last year, many of the injuries severe and permanent. We need our full ask to complete needed remodeling and building to improve safety to staff and our patients. Without the critical updates, you will continue to witness critical injuries to our staff and patients. Our buildings and layout is unsafe with blind sight lines, lack of security, and cameras. This is a critical safety concern, and I'm asking for your help and consideration to this urgent issue. Please fund our project.
Thank you. We've had a couple of other testimonies today on the security hospital, and we'll certainly be taking it under consideration.
Thank you, sir.
And now, you see, I don't know names anymore, so it's just whoever jumps up here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee. My name is Tommy Johnson. I'm the legislative officer for the 7th District Veterans of Foreign Wars. And I'd like to start out with a quote from the 1700s that you see in many American legions and VFWs. The willingness with which our young people are likely to serve in any war, no matter how justified, shall be directly proportional to how they perceive veterans of earlier wars were treated and appreciated by our nation. George Washington. And I bring that up because of the bridge at the Veterans Home. Every critical site needs two entrances. The bridge there went down in 2014. The funding for the engineering work, et cetera, was funded in 2015. And right now, our state's most vulnerable veterans are at risk. God forbid a tornado take down the only entrance there. And God forbid that when that entrance was closed, an ambulance had to get in to take a veteran to the emergency room across the street at the VA hospital. Or God forbid that there was a small fire and a fire truck couldn't respond. Or God forbid that there was somebody at the risk of being, went postal, and the SWAT team couldn't respond. This is a matter of critical safety for our state's most vulnerable veterans, and beyond that, it's a sign of what we are doing as a state to take care of the veterans that served before us. And that sends a message to the veterans that will come from behind us. I would appreciate your reconsideration to funding that bridge. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee. I would answer any questions.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, my name is Mike Wynn. I'm the President and CEO.
Mike who?
Wynn, W-Y-N-N-E. President and CEO of Emerge Community Development in Minneapolis. And I stand before my 7th grade civics teachers, Representative Carlson, so he'll judge how I do here.
I was a 7th grade civics teacher too, and I was scared for a minute there. That Continue.
My organization Emerge undertook the redevelopment of historic North Branch Library in Minneapolis. The project is a project of national significance. It's a historic branch library. It's the state's oldest library, and we repurposed it to create a career technology center. We are state's partner in workforce programs and career pathways in our city. Our organization was successful in generating $6.5 million in diversified public and private capital to complete a great renovation, put the building back into service in 2015. The project experienced many challenges. The most significant was as we moved toward closing on construction, we were deemed ineligible for the state historic tax credit due to a technical glitch that caused us that we were incompatible with the $2.6 million in federal dollars we got from the US EDA, Economic Development Administration. The loss of the credit left us with a $880,000 gap, and because of that, we had to seek city and county loans. And the current amount remaining is $850,000. Essentially, what we're having to do is pay debt service on Project Win. Our really scarce resources could be better invested in services. And so we were successful in getting an appropriation in the tax bill the last 2 years. However, that did not prevail. So it's a wonderful project, it's a wonderful building, and it's a gorgeous building. And we've stuck our neck out to take it on, and we're seeking support to help us finish it off. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair, committee members, my name is Ann Meltretter. I'm a registered nurse at Minnesota Security Hospital. I'm also here on behalf of Minnesota Nurses Association.
Spell your last name, please.
MEHLTRETTER.
Okay, continue, please.
I'm here today to express my concern over our facility not being included in this bonding bill. We are in the middle of a half-finished project on our campus. My fellow coworkers and I all deal with some of the most chronically mentally ill patients in the state of Minnesota in a potentially dangerous environment 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I've had the opportunity over the years to work in a lot of different units on that campus, the high acuity units, poor sight lines, places where we can't safely observe these people. They also don't have the space to live comfortably themselves. I've recently been able to move to one of the new buildings, transfer units, and the difference is remarkable. So I'm asking this committee to reconsider the bonding for Minnesota Security Hospital so that we can finish what we've started. Thank you.
Thank you. And as we've said earlier, this is the beginning of a process, and we will be considering all of these
Chair, Committee, Tom Diamond, Army veteran. I'd like to encourage your support of the A21 amendment for the bridge for the veterans home. This home serves veterans from throughout the state of Minnesota. It is a critical life safety issue to get this bridge back up and open. At the home, even today, if you're not familiar with the site, it's steep slopes all around there, except this one little access point in a little tiny narrow park road from the north. If that road is blocked, and I get out there quite frequently, and it is often blocked, a delivery truck, a vehicle, construction equipment, vehicles, just cars, and it blocks off all access to this site. So currently, these vulnerable adults and veterans in this facility, one, the timeline to get to the medical facility, the hospital, is much longer because this is winding route to get out, which is an important issue. But as stated before, if you think about it, if you get any sort of an emergency here, there is no way to get other vehicles. So if you think about it, you're trying to get emergency vehicles, ambulance, fire trucks, et cetera, in, and you're trying to get these vulnerable adults who have mobility issues out of this facility. It would be could be catastrophic. And not funding this and leaving it to rolling the dice as to what could happen is just unbelievable that we as a state would do that. So give a little history piece on this. Back when the home was originally established, it was for the Civil War veterans afterwards. And it was only shortly after the smaller facility then was built that they realized, oh my God, we have to have a bridge. And that's why the bridge originally got constructed. That over a century later, with a much larger facility, hundreds of veterans in there, we would not have that access. I think would be a bad decision. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, committee members, thank you for the opportunity. I'm Vernell Roberts, General Manager of Detroit Lakes Public Utilities. It's critical to fund the Public Facilities Authority to the governor's request of $167 million. I've spoken to you before about the high cost of phosphorus removal to meet the stringent standards imposed upon us by the MPCA. But here's the real cost to our community. One of our largest employers, 450 employees in Detroit Lakes, talked to me recently. Our current rate structure absorbs 25% of their profits from one of their business units. We need to raise the service charge for this customer from the $20.60 a month it is today to $1,720 a month. That is a $1,700 per month increase on the service charge for sewer service to this customer. This company is a well-established, locally owned, and homegrown success story. We risk losing them due to uncompetitive sewer rates. We could push them beyond profitability and lose them and the jobs that they provide within Detroit Lakes. Today's average residential sewer bill was $44.85. Without the help through the bonding bill, we'll have the need to increase the sewer rate for the residential customer class to nearly $80 a month. We have 17% of our citizens below the poverty level. Renters and low-income residents will be certainly impacted greater than anyone else. We're on a firm compliance schedule with the MPCA. We request the committee raise the funding level for the PFA to the governor's $167 million. We request lifting the cap on point source implementation grants for Detroit Lakes to fund the full 80% of the phosphorus removal cost. Funding through the PFA is critical for Detroit Lakes, the business in Detroit Lakes, and water quality in western Minnesota. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And as you maybe have noted earlier, we are funding PFA at a pretty decent amount, and we'll see as we go through the process if it goes up.
Thank you. Thank you, committee members.
Thank you. I believe, is Mr. Harnack here now? After these guys. Well, these guys, who are these guys? All right, welcome.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I have the great pleasure of introducing the representative from ArtSpace, and with that, I will let him make his case.
Didn't I see you in the hallway working as a custodian earlier today?
You and I have seen each other.
That would be the guy on the left here.
I'm a jack of all trades.
You had a hammer in your hand, and
I'm a jack of all trades. Thank you for
actually he was helping me put up a
Is this counting against his 2 minutes?
No.
I have not introduced myself yet.
He was helping me put up a banner. All right, start it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members. The request before you is for a $5 million cash provision from the bonding bill. We are seeking this money to help preserve and rehabilitate the Masonic Temple. It is the third and final building of a project that you guys funded with me about 10 or 12 years ago to complete the renovations of the historic Schubert Theater and create a new atrium building. Part of the issues that we are here seeking is a life safety issue. At the 8th story of the building, ice damming from a failing roof is causing these bricks to fall to the street. It has destroyed the lid of 3 dumpsters, the hood of a car, and as they cascade off the building, they actually puncture the roof membrane of the 2 new buildings next door. So that is one of the largest issues we have. The other is that the city of Minneapolis and Hennepin County have some of the most stringent public safety with regard to elevators and escalator and people movement, and we have elevators and elevators in that building that are about 55 years old. If you look into the handout that was given to you on the top page of the left side, you'll see elevator mechanicals. The left picture is what's currently there. We did replace the cables to the system about 10 years ago, but what you don't see in the picture is a box that's about 3 foot by 5 foot that has a number of switches on it. Those switches are no longer manufactured, so when one of those goes failing, we have to have that created and it stops the elevator from working, among the many things that you see inside this. Thank you for your time.
When I was there, did you have me ride in one of those 55-year-old elevators?
We did. We got you in the working one, though.
Oh, thank you. Representative Albright, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, Mr. Chair and members, I recognize that there is an amendment that is before you. It's 829, and just to reassure the members of the committee that the conditions of that amendment have been accomplished beforehand, and so the match money is already available to us.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Now, Mr. Harnick, I believe?
Yes.
And who?
Carlson.
Oh, I'm sorry. Representative Carlson.
I think there are 2 of us that have a question, but I think...
Or of these guys?
Of these guys.
All right.
Or at least one of them.
Yep.
I'm looking at the handout here, and this committee spent quite a bit of time a number of years ago dealing with roofs. And it appears that originally there was a pitched roof on this building, and it's a little difficult to tell, but is that a flat roof? Which in Minnesota doesn't, for a large public building, work very well if it doesn't have some pitch to it. And we're with our 2-minute time limit, you can either just say yes or no.
It does have a pitched roof to it. You cannot see it because of the way the pictures are taken in the sight line, but over the 8th floor, excuse me, Mr. Chairman and committee member, the Illusion Theater space is in the 8th floor of that building, which is the former parade grounds for the Masons, and so it has this pitched roof and arched. It's like a 2-story feature.
The reason, Mr. Chairman, I'll be brief, the reason I raised that question is that there was a period of time when a lot of our public construction was with flat roofs, and we ended up spending millions to replace those roofs much more frequently than you would with a pitched roof. So I was curious. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Carlson. Was there another question? Representative Hausen.
Mr. Chair, just a comment. Most of the projects we've heard from today have probably been waiting about 2 or 3 years. I think this one is more like 4 or 5 years, as I recall. 5 years.
You and I began this conversation, Mr. Chairman and Representative Hausman, you and I began this conversation 5 years ago. Yep.
Yeah, I was there too, but not, not in the room.
Yes, you were.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, members.
We'll take Kent Solom next. Oh, no, you can come up. No, you. Me. Yeah, the guy with the hand on the chair. Thank you.
This is my chair.
Yeah.
Can I head start?
Mr. Harnick, begin, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Ron Harnick with the Red River Watershed Management Board, and I'd like to provide some testimony on a couple of things within your bill. We really appreciate the efforts to put forth $11.55 million for the flood hazard mitigation program. The state has significant critical flood damage reduction needs that are ready to begin design, acquisition, or construction phases immediately. Flooding continues to put a lot of communities and infrastructure and agriculture at risk to losses that can be prevented or minimized. The lack of a bonding bill last year has put a lot of additional risk on these and increased the potential costs to those projects and to the taxpayers. The projects that are within your bill currently are limited. The ones that are not, that are high priority, are the City of Halstead, City of Montevideo, Red Path Project in the Roseau River Watershed District, Boys to Sioux Watershed District, the City of Austin, City of Owatonna, City of Golden Valley, Afton, Rushford, as well as some others, and I believe that DNR has provided you with their priority list. It is our hope that as you continue to work through this bill, that there would be some additional dollars that could be provided for the flood hazard mitigation program going forward. Secondly, Mr. Chairman, you have $10 million for room reserve in your bill. And we're strongly supportive of CREP. One of the shortcomings and limitations of CREP is that it does not include the 9 counties in northwestern Minnesota that have also critical buffer needs under the buffer bill. It would be our hope that as you proceed in this bill, that some of those resources could be given to rim reserve only without requiring the federal match, so that those landowners up in northwestern Minnesota could have the same access to buffer compensation as others within the state. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You would be next. And
Mr. Chair, do we have that language anywhere that you just referenced? Has that been introduced somewhere, what you just suggested?
Mr. Chairman and Representative Hausman, Senator Johnson and Representative Fabian have introduced a bill that walks down that road a bit. And
well, then we will make sure we're looking for those bills. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Sulam, you'll be after this gentleman.
Good evening. No. Mr. Chair and the committee, my name is Mark Sandbo, and I'm representing the Gitchigami Trail Association. And thank you for the opportunity to
Last name again,
testify.
please.
Sandbo, S-A-N-D-B-O. Sandbox without the X.
All right.
I've said it many times. The Gitchigami Trail Association is requesting $2 million in bonding for the further development of the Gitchigami Trail. The funding is needed to connect the Grand Marais to the Cut Face Wayside Rest Area. It's a $3.9 million project, of which we already have in hand bonding from 2014 and $950,000 federal grant money. The engineering and design work is already done, and it's shovel-ready and ready to go, and all we need is the money. The Gitchigami Trail, as most of you know, is an 86-mile trail that goes along the north shore of Lake Superior from Two Harbors to Grand Marais. It's designated by the DNR as a destination trail. As of right now, there's about 30 miles of the trail completed. The members of the Gitchigami Trail Committee last year had put in for $2 million in bonding, and we appreciate Representative Eklund and the others who have supported our requests. We're hoping that when you get to a final bonding bill, you can again include the Gitchigami Trail as part of that bond. Thank you, and I'll answer any questions if you've got them.
What does Gitchigami mean?
It's Lake Superior. It's Lake Superior is a Native American name for the Lake Superior.
Of Gitchigumi.
By the shores of Gitchigami. Well, yeah, it's Gitchigumi if you're
wrong.
But if you're on our committee, it's Sketchy-Gammy.
All right. We got that straight.
Not a
Thank
Gordon
you.
Lightfoot fan.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad that we discovered that you're here, Mr. Sullivan, because I was afraid I was going to have to track you down some other place tonight.
Mr. Chair, you know where to find me. Thank you for this chance. We did have somebody who was trying to cover while I was in another committee. Unfortunately, there was a mix-up on the timing trying to transfer between us, but I appreciate the do-over. Ken Sullivan with the Minnesota Association of Townships. We are here to say thank you for the significant investment in local roads and local bridges. If your colleagues in another committee don't figure out that $1 million does not spread far over 56,000 miles of road, I may be asking for even a more generous contribution in bonding. It is a significant program. It's one that we work very well with our colleagues at the county, cities, and at MnDOT, making it work. We traditionally do not support the idea of earmarking, but again, if that other committee can't get a little bit better than $1 million, we may be hopeful. The bridge program, likewise, is a very beneficial program. We have over 6,200 bridges, so the state's 13,000 bridges on the town road system. You can guess which ones are some of the oldest and the ones with a lot of wooden bases in need of both functional replacement and the safety aspects. So we just want to thank you for that. And finally, I'll wrap by saying, as I'm sure you've heard earlier, we need to make sure that we are fully funding and bonding for the wetland replacements, because as much money as we have for roads and bridges comes to a stop if we can't do the proper wetland mitigations as required. So we need the three parts to all work together on that. With that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Well, thank you, Mr. Sullivan. Now, come on up. I'll just say that on my list, I still have Greta Gauthier.
She came in, didn't she?
Close enough. Did I have Sarah Wolf? Did I have she? Is that it? Anyway, well, we'll do a final call out. Hang around. After you.
All right, thank you. I did call, but I somehow didn't end up on your list. Mr. Chair, members of the committee, my name is Dorian Grilly. I'm here today to represent the Bicycle Alliance of Minnesota and the Minnesotans for Healthy Kids Coalition and many others in support of including $6 million for Safe Routes to School infrastructure grants in the bonding bill. We've all supported this amount for the past couple of years, and the bonding bill did pass the House with Safe Routes funding in it last year. We do this in support of community leaders from around the state who know these types of investments will help them attract the families and businesses that will keep their communities strong. We do this in support of the teachers that know that healthy, active kids learn better. We do this with the passionate support of the public health community who know that investments that make physical activity safe and convenient will save our state hundreds of millions of dollars in healthcare costs in the long run. And we do this with the support of the military leaders of mission readiness that worry that there will not be enough healthy people fit enough to serve in the future. And we do this in support of the bipartisan group of legislators that have supported this all along the way, and Representative Detmer, who was the chief author this year. And the Bicycle Alliance is doing its part too. We've developed an elementary school safety curriculum in partnership with Blue Cross Blue Shield and MnDOT. And it's called Walk Bike Fun, and we've trained 500 teachers to use it. Those teachers are training about 50,000 kids a year, so the demand is definitely out there. So as the capital investment negotiations progress, I hope that you'll keep in mind the demand for Safe Routes to School infrastructure is there in almost every community in our state.
Thank you, Mr. Grilly.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair and members, Dan Larson, Minnesota Rural Counties, 29 counties in greater Minnesota that we advocate for. Here today to talk about a couple of things in the bill. Number one, first and foremost, you did a great job of emphasizing local roads and bridges, so we appreciate that. Those projects are much needed. The only thing you could do better is to work with your transportation counterparts to
to provide a long-term, comprehensive, dedicated, constitutionally dedicated funding bill, but that's a different story. So thank you for that. Secondly, I just want to reiterate that we hope you take a good, strong look at the local road wetland program. That's a program that you heard Don Arnosti get up and he talked about the 21 years and it's been a successful program. It's been successful except for every biennium we seem to have to come back and advocate again for adequate funding. And Mr. Arnosti and I were there 21 years ago, and this was the last issue in the 1996 Wetland Conservation Act that held the bill open for 3 days. And we thought we'd put it to bed as a state responsibility, but it's a strange thing because every other year we come back and have to remind legislators that the importance of this bill. And you heard Mr. Carlson talk about the effects and the inefficiencies, really, of not funding this bill up front, or this responsibility up front. And lastly, you heard Ron Harnack just recently talk about the a program for rim reserve. There are 9 counties above Highway 2 that will not be able to participate. The landowners will not be able to participate equally through the CREP program because CREP ends at Highway 2. So if you could look at funding rim for that purpose, that'd be awesome. Oh, I want to shift over to personal from Dan Larson. This is on the bridge, the Veterans Bridge. I know you've got an amendment. I hope you look closely at that. That's something that's near and dear to my heart. My wife was at an event at the Minneapolis Veterans Home when there was activity in the park. And it took her 40 minutes to get that quarter mile from the home to the parkway. And she came home and talked about, that's where I first heard life safety. So very important issue. I know you heard enough about that, but thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Larson. Does anyone else wish to testify? Well, for those of you who represent Poppy, wish to testify.
No, Mr. Chair, but I did want to report that Greta Gauther is planning to come back at 6:30. She left when the announcement was made that they could leave and come back, and I texted her, and she is hoping that you'll allow her to testify when she returns at 6:30. Thank you.
At 6:30, we will open it up again to those on the list for sure, which would be her.
You know her?
But I would, I don't know if you guys have stuck around for all this when you're done testifying, or you want some award or something, but you certainly are deserving. Yeah. The plan now is that we will recess for 15 minutes and be back at 6:30. Well, how long do you want?
Tomorrow. You finally have a meeting and then you go crazy.
Hey, you wanted a meeting, so, here we are. We have a 15-minute recess, and we'll take up amendments. And that'll be it. I suppose, we should be out of here by 7.
Yeah.